Alright, let's do this. So, this is the first time streaming after, well, yesterday. After we won that match yesterday in the cup competition in the PLA preceding Group C. So now we got a friendly going. And we will probably rotate the entire squad for this friendly. Just to give them some match practice. I don't care much about the result. Sure, a win would be nice, but doesn't matter much. There's also some stuff here. So we have no idea how to trigger the press, I guess. Which means this cannot stand. We might want to focus on how to trigger the press instead. So let's do this. Well, at least he's here. Most likely though we'll do defending all around. Just to teach him how to trigger the press. Well, there's other stuff that might teach him too, but we might as well go with extensive defending training prior to the friendly, and then we'll go into match preparation prior to the important match.
Why would you do that?
Welcome! I'm sure exciting adventure is ahead of us. Wow! Thank you very much. And welcome back to the stream, by the way. Well, 2 out of 3. It's really great. Thank you very much. I'm hoping for I don't know, more streaming hours, I guess, so it's worth your while. But it's very much appreciated. I will invest it all into the next installment of Football Manager, most likely, if I ever make it to a payout. You are welcome to lurk, you are welcome to speak, whatever serves your purpose. As long as you have fun, that's all fine. But you're always welcome to ask questions or, I don't know, make the odd comment from time to time. Alright, so there's this deal negotiated. I'm quite excited about this. I also put it on a Discord server, the screenshot, so we will deal with this immediately. The thing is, I don't know yet how much we will offer. The previous offer was for 17k. They want what? No, the previous offer was for a maximum of 40. They want 51. So we'll probably split the difference or something. I was taught never to split the difference. But I guess in Football Manager it will go down that way. Alright. Hidayatullah. Well, his foot is bruised. That's not much we can do here. Doesn't matter. We got some money for the win. In fact, this is damn a lot of money for a random cup competition. I think I recall that, but I just want to look into it again. The rules here state that for the group stages, you get a friggin' 23k per win. In comparison, the Indonesian Cup, this is the big one, I guess. This is the one that gives you a Champions League starting spot, if you win it. Well, the group stages here give you... There's no group stage. The first few rounds here, they give you less. So, I don't know. I guess this is the more important cup competition because it's all first league teams. There anything to be won by the final? Yeah. A nice little 580k, okay. There's no money whatsoever for winning the semi-final. Oh, there's appearance money. Never mind. Still. So basically the big money is in the semi-final and the final. I guess we should make sure that we go through into the quarterfinal at least. And preferably into the semi-final. That implies a lot of money. All of a sudden. I really love that. Isha's on form, that's good. Yeah, he scored 2 goals. 12 out of 19 hitters isn't bad either. Is there a reason to... Well, I guess we can praise him. He is relieved to have signed a new contract. I'm relieved too, thank you very much, Vayan. So, we'll take that. Superb in front of the goal last time out, yeah, I think that's true. We'll go with that. And then we need to go through the press conference. Let's do this. Well, we have a record over Persala. I wasn't aware. Who knows? Am I pleased with how he played? Yeah, that's... This kind of leading question is so annoying. Great. That was really a good press conference. Now let's go to what's the most important thing around here. So let's compare him once more to Arianto. If I can find Arianto, here we go. So Mr. Steinke is a bit faster, a bit more a physical type. His defending and his mentals aren't that great though, in comparison to Arianto. Hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's all fine, thank you very much, and I hope you have a good time yourself. Well, looking at the attributes here, Steinke is the more physical player, Arianto is more mentally gifted, I would argue, but they are more or less on the same level. So from a perspective of wage, I expect this to turn out very similar. And the transfer value is, well... I got that, Isabella David. Thank you very much. Or it's Isabella. Mispronounced it already. You are brand new. Your account has been created 1 hour ago. So I guess welcome to Twitch. Alright, so we paid like a shit ton of money for Arianto, I think 60k. So, to pay something like this for Michael Steinke is probably not a bad idea either. Well, or it was a bad idea to pay that much for Arianto in the first place. He still doesn't seem to be susceptible to injury. So, last time out we offered 40k. So, we'll offer 45 now. And I hate to part with money that I don't need to, so... Something like this, maybe? Something like this. I'm really hoping that we can get him with a lot of performance-based stuff, so I'm perfectly willing to pay this amount of money. As long as... well, he performed previously. We'll make an offer like this. Maybe they'll like it. There's also 25 trials that finish today. Well, tomorrow, tonight, whatever. So I guess we will need to look through these. Well... it's hard to determine. What's your favorite game? There's such a thing as a favorite game for everybody. It's just like asking what team do you support, or I don't know. If you're single-minded about this stuff, you're probably not a gamer. Well, I guess some people have favorite games. But yeah, I like it. More or less. I also like other games.
Oh no. Strangers. Lots of them.
I'm sure they're friendly. Welcome!
Welcome to the stream! And thank you very much for playing that. Well, we just started the session, so I guess this is the perfect time to join. Thank you very much. Well, this is in Indonesia.
For the fan club.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help group?
And now you will be stuck with all of these sound bites. Thank you very much for bringing them along. That's really nice of you.
Hey, yet another member for the fan club.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help group?
Way! That's a lot of followers. Cool. So I guess I will explain this or that from time to time about this save. So we're starting into a brand new season in Indonesia in the first league. We barely made it. Well, we didn't make it. We barely failed at making it to the Asian Champions League last time out.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help group?
Now we need a new follower goal. I need to come up with something at some point.
Hey, yet another member for the fan club.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help group?
Well, obviously it is a self-help group, come to think of that. Because it's about Football Manager in the end. So I guess we're all somewhat weird in our own way, right? Okay, season ticket sales have been going up. We did make the offer for the players, so I guess we skip forward. And you can tell me what you think about the save so far, given that you know absolutely nothing about it. I don't know. Are you interested in anything? I can... well... I can also try to imitate the voices for the sound bites. It's these are derived from actually from two pen and paper role-playing characters. Well, characters is an overstatement. From a pair of shoes, magical shoes. It doesn't get any weirder, I guess. They are called Bolly and Molly. So one's like,
Hey, how you doing? I'm very optimistic.
and the other one is the depressive one that's always annoyed. So, I don't think this is a worthwhile occupation. What the hell are you doing? Get the fuck away from the screen. You worked all day. This is not healthy. Yeah, something like this. So I chose to include them for sound bites. It has nothing to do with Football Manager though. I just thought it would be a nice idea. And, well, I'm not sure yet. I did! This is the same save, by the way. The United City, well, it's the same save. We were with Yidhawk Dogs IK. So, we got fired there at some point, and then we went to Wales, and afterwards, I don't care about this. This is only a friendly. Afterwards, we ended up in Indonesia. After being fired in Sweden, too. And I very much enjoy it so far. So I'm not the one to hop around saves. This is why we are in 2031. Also, thank you very much for the nice messages, everybody. I guess I'm doing fine. Let me scroll a little bit. Did I forget anyone? No, I don't think so. In case I did, remind me of whatever you asked or your comment. You're always welcome. So, we will have a few more defensive sessions because, well, triggering the press is not very familiar with the stream right now the way we do it. Does. We also do, I know this is weird for a streamer, but we do a defensive setup here and it works just fine given that we are a relegation candidate. And last season, we had a striker that scored a whopping 42 goals. Not in the league though. He, scored 18 out of those 42 goals in the cup. So that's what happens if you bring a target forward to Indonesia. Everybody's a dwarf and the target forward's like, cool, 1 meter 80 is fine. So he did that. Well, in other news, I could probably go through the squad once more and tell you about it in case you're interested. Or, I don't know, you tell me what you're interested in. Oh. He is very interested in negotiating terms, but feels there are currently more appealing options elsewhere. Well, hopefully, we will get his appeal. At least he wants to negotiate at all. And he doesn't have an agent. No, we will not strengthen any area. This is fine, this is more or less immediately. And I think regular starter is good too. Ours has like 14, I think. And 24 headers on average every game is damn high. I will need to look into this, but the statistics are gone right now for the last season. So I'm not sure. I would need to look it up. The estimated wage is between 210 and 325. Outside it says something along the lines of 400. Not sure yet about this. Okay. He's more interested with a move to Persipura. Come on, man. You wanna play here? Yeah, we'll get this signing done somewhat. 2-year contract, no problem. So I don't want to chase him away. We'll start with 250. Give him a slightly bigger clean sheet bonus because, well, I like performance-based. In fact, probably 100. And I also want to see, does he accept an extension after league games? This, by the way, is a decent wingback / fullback, and we are desperately looking for better defenders. Yeah, so all corner takers are really shitty. Including him, in case he wants to join the club. So maybe that's something I should look into. Okay, he doesn't want to. Well, turns out though, I think we will get him for 250 or 275. Let's see. It's really sad that we cannot have a longer contract. We might try to include other clauses here. He doesn't care much about money, it seems. Yeah, let's take the 275 and maybe renegotiate this deal later on. That would be totally fine, so let's see if we can get some of that money out of here. Doesn't need money to sit on the bench. Doesn't need all that much of a loyalty bonus, I think. Thank you very much, Mr. Steinke. This is very nice. And we will probably leave the clean sheet bonus in. No, he's gone. Okay, great. So, we pay a lot of money for this transfer. I'll just, because it has been noted here, I'll just show you Jorge Cesar for a second. This is our striker, our forward, right now. Well, one of the two. The other one, actually, weirdly enough, is an attacking midfielder that is trying to learn how to be a striker. So, not very uncommon, but he's rather talented. Problem with Jorge Cesar is he's 32, but, you know, 24 and 33 in the league, and then 18 goals in a cup, I think in 10 matches on top. So that went pretty well. The other option is Vajanisha, who, it turns out, is accomplished already. We are actually training him as a complete forward right now. His jumping's fine, and I want to emphasize the rather decent creative passing on his side. So I guess the future implies that Isha will take that spot, and well, the implication is that Isha will take that spot, and Jorge Cesar will probably go away due to decline in age. But we're talking years here. That or a really good offer. Or, well, either of them. And I guess I wouldn't part with Isha, given that I bought him for money. Let's get back to this guy there. Maybe we can haggle a bit more. Patrick Gustafsson. Well, I could. That said, we're in 31, so... Also, there's a bit of a problem with foreign player rules here. Let's see... Patrick... Is it with CK? Nope. Gustafsson. Yes, he is around. He's by, and he's a 30-year-old right now. And his match history says, well, his match history says he's damn good. Also, he's slightly more expensive than what we are willing to offer. Like, this is half of our wage budget. So, he probably won't join anytime soon. But thanks for the suggestion. How tall is he? 1 meter 83. That's not that much actually. We had Ishak Al Holmström in Sweden, back with Yedderhawk dolls that had like 18 or 19 points of jumping. That was really great. Similar tactic back there. So Suleiman here. What do we do with this guy? Well, not much. He's been loaned out. Oh, he's not a tall guy. I see. Okay. Well, in terms of pace, well, more or less most of the raid left anyway, but we will still emphasize one guy here. But here's Imbiri. Here. Let's not forget this guy. So, in case you didn't meet him yet, this is Bayu Imbiri. This is probably the best talent we have at the club. He doesn't have 17 or 18 pace and acceleration, but 14-14 is pretty decent for this league. And, well, let me emphasize a little bit on the development. That's more or less fine, right? I wouldn't say wonder kid material, but for Indonesia that's pretty good. Yes. There's also one thing that comes to mind. He started out lighthearted. He's spirited right now. And there's a very special player in the club that is rock bottom of my heart, and also, also probably rock bottom performance-wise in the league. But he's a model citizen, and we brought him along exactly for one purpose. This mentoring group here. So I don't care about Iskander, but Moody is a decent influence on Bayu Imbiri. So hopes are that Imbiri might turn out to be a professional, or, well, if we can really go all the way, a model citizen at some point. That would obviously be perfect. So I'm hoping for that. Not so much for the transfer of the trade, but, well, you gotta deal with what you have. The biggest problem is Imbiri doesn't want to extend his contract, so all of the effort put into the player might not be worth our while. On the other hand, if we make it to the Champions League, maybe Imbiri reconsiders his current stance. Who knows? And we are starting to include other young players. Fuck, we need to go through all of these trials, do we? Did we last time out? I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, we will probably have a replacement for Imbiri at some point. Maybe not with the same quality, but, well, player material should be exchangeable. If it isn't, then I consider this a failure in management, which might happen from time to time. But we still wanna... I think I went through these last stream, right? Yeah, I went through this last stream. Not of interest right now. The only thing that's really interesting to me is also not this goalkeeper, go away. This spot, the left defender, is really interesting to me. When he's want to come in at some point, okay. So yeah, we could also do with another central defender, I think. Our central defenders are more or less fine. One of them is decent, the other one is, well, I guess also decent. But we signed him as a backup, and he played for the entirety of the last season. So he's not that great, but given the amount of money involved, I think he's just fine. Good luck to him. Thank you very much for going. We don't need an under-18s manager anymore, I think. So I'm okay with this. And Imbiri is on international duty right now, so hopefully he plays a few matches there and comes back unhurt. Then he can do the same in the friendly here. Sure. There's also a few other players in the club that are, well, destined for some development. We reshaped the personality of the squad. I wouldn't say I'm proud of it in particular, but we figured out a way not to break everything haphazardly at the start of our of our occupation here in Indonesia. So we stuck with the squad as it was and introduced professional players bit by bit, and that helped a lot. We also let some of the players go, but also bit by bit. And right now we're sitting at a spot where a resolute player and a spirited player are captain and vice captain, and I'm very happy with that. So yeah, they turn out to be decent leading players of the squad, and there's still one player of the old guard around that will probably need to leave. That is considered a leader, Mr. Tiga Infantry. We will let him leave at the end of the season, but for now he still earns $1,000. Well, euros. Or whatever it is in rupiah, I don't know. Games on euros. Also, by the way, let me know where you come from. I usually tend to mock the places people come from, and, well, you wouldn't want me to miss out on that, right? So, that obviously needs to change. Are any of you from Europe or something? Or are you, I don't know, from the United States or somewhere else? Tell me some of you are Indonesian, so I can actually be remembered about my duties towards other countries' people, to be nice and stuff. There's a few sports scientists here. Sure, let's continue with that. So Montreal will go on a loan and we will get 1k per month for him. I think this is perfect. Thank you very much. Get out the door and earn some money. This is great. He'll also compile some match reports in case he does well. And in case we don't want him anymore, we'll just remove him from this list later on. This guy can be moved back to the under-21s. So, there is a slight increase in sharpness here. The problem is they're all on the heavy match load, so I'd rather not play them a second time. Good part is Jorge Cesar is still around. Bad part is we will probably lose this next friendly. Well, we'll give it our best. Our best shot will not be that much though. I want to rotate, so we are definitely ready for Persebaya Surabaya. And he will be gone. Alright. Hopefully the left back decides to come with us. That would be fantastic. A professional player that is also Indonesian as well as German. So I don't know, it doesn't matter much where he comes from really. Well, it does for the league rules. Given that he's partly Indonesian, that counts. Because we do not have additional foreign player slots open. So we would need to part ways with somebody, and I'd rather not. This all seems reasonable. I will not use the suggested squad though. I will clear this. And then we will play Wahab, who is the second goalkeeper, who's on light duty. Yusuf, that seems fair, if I hit the spot. Solistio as a central defender didn't do much recently. Fozzy, he's also a youngster. Hermana, I guess he will need to leave. Well, I hope he will need to leave, because we will have a replacement. None of these are any good. He can be moved to the under-21s, I think, for now. Anshori, sure. He would need to play too. So I guess we'll put Anshori here. And put infantry towards Fozzy's spot. Ramadan, that's another 16-year-old. He's not that good yet. I don't know, might become viable as a playmaker at some point. But let me just tell you that we just loaned out a 22-year-old that was signed to be a replacement for our current primary playmaker, Dicky Tabuni. And, well, the 16-year-old made it to the pitch more often than the other replacement. So he certainly has the personality going for him, it seems. He also has an appropriate trait. I like that very much. Alright, Jorge Cesar will probably play as a striker, so that leaves us with options for the wing. Ari on the left, cutting inside. Zico on the right, also cutting inside. And in the middle, Hida Yutala seems tired. Abidin probably will not do. So I guess Iskander's the one. And then we just stuff the bench with the rest of the players. Do we need to leave anyone at home at all? Doesn't look like it. No, in fact we can bring along Chris Karov too. Not that it matters much. Fine. So let's try to see if we can spark some excitement here. With a friendly. But afterwards, these matches matter. Like, these are 23k per match. So we need that prize money. And also we need to go through the group stages. We do not need to win every single one of them, but we better win at least 4 out of 5. So we need an additional 3 wins there. And I think Persebaya, Surabaya are the most dangerous of the opponents. There is one other group that, if I recall correctly, consists of the top 3 teams in the league. So there was a horror group for all of them, I think. Also, there's no chocolate around here. How can I live like that? That's the wrong one. There's like 10 bars of chocolate in that drawer. It's just what's around here, in case I do some streaming. Also in case I do work, or in case, I don't know, everything else. Alright, let's see. So, we have some comments about Wahab's progression. Well, his training has been okay. Tolerable, I would say. It's not perfect though. What shall we do? So, matches tomorrow. Let's have a look at their individual training levels. I'd rather not praise them prior to the friendly. I'd rather praise them prior to the real match. That said, does it matter if their mood is not perfect? No, it doesn't, does it? Will might also praise them now. At least those that did well, which is not that many anyway. Well, this is all green, but this is a professional quad, so kind of expected. Moody's really trying. But with no potential and model citizen personality, well, it will still go nowhere. Oh yeah, Mbiri's back. So that means the iconic striker duo will play together. That's not bad. Also, all of the youth trash will play, so you can learn their names by heart. And then we could argue all day about their potential or the lack thereof. Nobody got injured so far. I like that. this is all preparation for the league for me. Sure, it earns decent money. In fact, it earns, well, if we make it all the way to the end, it earns as much as the league, more or less. So this is really important in a way. But in another way, it means nothing for the league, and I think there's no starting spot for the Champions League or something included in this. This is in the other cup. So I guess this one's the one that pays money directly. The other one is the one that gives you a Champions League starting spot, and the league is, well, Asian Champions League starting spots as well as decent money. So, league's most important. That said, we are still a relegation candidate, so there will be tough times. Maybe. That, or we do like last season, where we finished 7th. We didn't really stand a chance against the really strong teams in the league, but against the rest, well, this or that happened, preferably hat-tricks by Jorge Cesar. So, that brought on some decent results. Brought in. You can probably tell by now, I don't know how many of you watched me earlier. I'm not from the States or from the United Kingdom. I'm from Germany. So, in case some of the phrasing is a bit off from time to time, feel free to inform me. I'm actually trying to learn. One can always improve. And I know absolutely nothing about this club. Might be a League One club, I'm not so sure. PSIS Killer Cap. They might have gotten promoted recently. So, might be an opponent for the league. It's not an opponent for the cup competition right now, though. At least not in our group. Alright, this takes a while. Well... Any of you got any comments or questions? How was your start into the week? I guess everybody's back from work, right? This is how it works. Priscilla. So that's the ones that we defeated last time out. No players in, no players out. Salary per annum is 815k. I'm not sure about ours. Is this somewhere around here? So we spent 10.6k per week, 10.7 more or less. Times 52, that's 500 and something. So we have a lower budget. At least we spend less right now. I won't be proud of it just yet, but money's always good. So that we can reinvest it into the squad. Alright. Fixtures. So, we will leave it like this. I will do opposition instructions. I tend to fiddle with this stuff way too much. What we can do though is, let me just do this here. We should probably start a new goal, shouldn't we? What? Oh yeah, sure. Yay. Well, I need to record another sound for this one. Okay, so they are all out of shape. Well, no sharpness whatsoever. Looks though like some of them are really dangerous. He's a decent finisher, his bravery is really bad. I think we should stand a chance of getting this guy out of the game. That said, passing's decent, his vision isn't, luckily. So I guess we'll close down the striker. We more or less always do. This is a left-footed something winger. Runs with ball down the left and blah blah, box standard. So we'll show him to the right for him to cut inside. That should restrict some of the crossing and force him into some passing, also close him down. Dribbling's okay-ish, so I'd rather not tackle him hard. Otherwise, I probably would. Unami's bravery is really bad, his strength is absurdly bad, and his dribbling is more or less inexistent too, so this is a case of a hard tackle for me immediately. Composure's bad too. His passing is 6, his vision is 10. Is this the one to close down or the one to tight mark? Also is off the ball movement. It's 4 to 6. So I guess we mark him tightly alongside the hard tackles. That should do. Hargianto. Muhammad Hargianto. I think we will do tight marking here too. Because, well, off the ball movement's bad, no strength, no jumping reach. He has bravery though. That said, his dribbling is still bad. Both of these need to be closed down, and he has no composure whatsoever, neither does he. So we trigger the press and pros on both of them. Freddy Saputra, yeah, of course he's dangerous. Damn. 12 points of passing. So if we can, tight mark him too. That's on Dika, that's the wrong player. This one. I don't like the option to tight mark him though. He has jumping reach 13. We could use our striker to tight marking, but that won't help much. So I'd rather not do that. His composure is really low though. So maybe trigger the press on him, tackle him hard and hope for the best. Ngangi. This crossing does not seem that threatening, neither does the passing. Closing him down from time to time is probably okay, but I don't think we need to mark him tightly. Let's have a look at the strength and stuff. Yeah, no tight marking is probably better anyway, despite him being physically weak. This one has 4 points of passing. I do not think we need to mark him tightly. He has similar passing and vision. Doesn't matter much. And Andrika is also really bad at build-up play. That leaves us with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's kicking is 5 and his throwing is 7. Passing is 4 to 6. That's actually not too bad. But I don't think we need to do anything in particular here. So we'll stick with this. Did I forget a weak foot somewhere? Or maybe some really low dribbling back here? Bad bravery, low strength. For a central defender, this guy seems very susceptible to pressure. I mean, look at this. A central defender that is 1.67 meters, 31 years old, 1 point of jumping reach, and 4 points of strength. Sure, he has 7 to 10 points of bravery, but I think we will trigger the press on him going hard. And do our best. And given the opportunities on the pitch, what was his name? Aditama. So I guess Jorge Cesar gets a special job. Where's Aditama? Here. Have fun. That should do. Go! Let's do this. Apparently we're favorites. Well, okay. That said, a lot of these are youngsters that might feel somewhat pressured. I'll go with encouragement, I guess. That worked. Alright. Let's see how this match goes. Yeah, we had a look at this. Well, so much for the kickoff and initial passing. Ramadan's long ball, and Ari apparently doesn't stand a chance of picking that up. Jorge Cesar though. Well, this one was versus Iqbal. I actually told him to mark the other guy, but we'll see how it goes. So hopefully the two face off from time to time. Indra, would you be willing to close the guy down? Thank you very much. You have been instructed to close him down. Doesn't care. It's not a bad long shot. Slightly misplaced though. Well guys, you should do better. As always. Andika. Hergianto. Saputra. That is a free kick, due to being offside. I was fearful about the corner actually. Well, fearful is a bit much. I did expect one. Luckily it didn't happen. Aditama for Sroyer Infantry. There's Vahab. Alright. Let's move on with this. Long kick. Ari doesn't manage to win the duel. Is Kandar up front though. Wins the header. He's not a tall guy. Ramadan for Ari. No offside. It is offside. Well, that's too bad. Zico with a corner. Jorge Cesar doesn't even jump. Ari, Iskander is not around, at least not mentally. Romana. Zico again. Yusuf, Ramadan. Nice pass for infantry, and it deflects off the goalkeeper's fingers. If I interpret this correctly. Wow. That was a wonderful chance. Should have scored. Iskander. Zico. Iskander again. Iskander. Huh. Could have taken a low grade shot here. Or a low chance shot, I guess. Could have been high quality for all I care. Yusuf. Not a bad pass. Did get intercepted though. The infantry for Yusuf again. And Indra with a free kick. Well, so far not much has been happening. We did have the better chance though. Long ball towards Ari. Is this the way we distribute for now? It says towards playmakers, so apparently, given that Vahab doesn't care, let's go towards target forward. Target forward should have a chance to challenge their central defenders, in particular the one he's marking. Well done, Zico. Not well done, Zico. I expected him to turn around with that ball. Unsure he's on a yellow? Oh. That happened a minute ago. He is a ball-winning midfielder. So, I don't know. We'll go to defensive midfielder, I guess, and ease him, let him ease off tackle. Also, how's his passing overall? Didn't even think of that. But it should be rather easy, shouldn't it? Flair's bad, vision is okay, passing is alright. Patient passing should be fine. We have somebody on the pitch that does creative passing. Well, actually more than one player. There should be. Depends on how you count. Even Jorge Cesar does some creative passing from time to time. That's interesting goalkeeping. So now we're the same from the perspective of expected goals. Wahab with a long kick towards Jorge Cesar, who clearly stands a chance here. And that was a shot from ways out. Could have hit the target though. Permana for Ramadan, Ari. No dribble whatsoever. Iskander, Jorge Cesar. Anshori. Ramadan again. Will Ari outrun his man? Well, he outjumps his man. And then there's this. Solistio. Central defender was in midfield there. Oh, that looks fine. Oh, that looks very fine. That looks fantastic by Zico. So, Charinellos will be happy with that one later on, I think. In case he's not around right now. Doesn't seem like it. Happy to call you out, sir. He said Zico should play more often. Given that scene, I agree. At least for now. That was a nice dribble. And also the assist came from Ramadan, so... Actually, our defensive midfielder had an assist for an instance. We had similar goals this weekend, well, last weekend now, in the Bundesliga. Sergio Girassi decided to do one of these dribbles too around the keeper and just putting it in with the outside of the foot. The guy's on fire. How many is it now? 13 goals in 7 matches or something? He will probably be in the Premier League in winter. Free kick by Iskander for Solistio. That's out the outside of the net. I would have been so excited for the youngster. Jorge Cesar is on an 8.0 rating? For what? For winning all of these duels? Solistio, Ramadan. Solistio? Yeah, do some patient passing, this is fine. Infantry is not known for his patient passing, but apparently this time. Ramadan. Ari... That's not offside, is it? Iskander. Ah! That's a really bad finish. Boo! You should do better, man. 16-year-old or not. That's not a good finish. Makes you look like a fool. Jorge Cesar didn't stand a chance. Jumping for the corner. Unsure is still around. That's a rather tight margin here. leading by 1 goal. Jorge Cesar again. Ari. Zico. Will he go past his man once more? Well, last time he went past everyone. This seems like a reasonable pass, though. Well, it was something between a pass and a cross. More of a pass. Did go well, though. Jorge Cesar sadly didn't convert a chance. Iskander. Celestio. Not bad. Not bad. Ramadan, Permana, Celestio again. Oh, that's in! That's a goalkeeper's mistake, though. We can't really say Celestio is the one that deserved this one. Well, I guess he put it towards goal. But look at Nugra's mistake. That slipped through his fingers. Well, that or he tried to fist it away or something, I don't know. Definitely a weird occasion. Well, 2 goals. This friendly is going down well. Alright, did anyone make any tactical observations? Anything that needs to be changed? Other than this being a no-brainer so far? No? Okay. So I guess we'll go to the second half and just move on with this. Well, Iskander doesn't have a great game so far. He missed that one chance that might also be dangerous. Yeah, really dangerous. Ha! Hits the inside of the post. Doesn't go in though. We got lucky. I'm not sure if Wahab's fingertips saved that one. Jorge Cesar, on the other hand, seems to stand a good chance in terms of jumping versus the defender there. I guess 14 jumping reach versus 1 is a kind of an uneven duel. Iskander wins the header. Jorge Cesar with a penetrating pass for Ari. Come on, Ari. That would have been nice, but apparently the defenders still work. At least for now. Iskander. Not this time. Ari, Zico with another shot. And Nutra claims the ball. Some of the players will be pretty tired pretty soon. Not now though. Ramadan. Jorge Cesar. And that's a typical Jorge Cesar ball. The headers are over the goal most of the time, sadly. If he could score half of these, or at least put them towards goal, that would be really great. Ramadan. Celestio, Yusuf. All of these are youngsters. Youngsters with decent penetrating passes like this one. And that's a corner. Okay. We'll praise them once more. Why not? They did well so far. Iskander. Nothing for Jorge Cesar. Tito Come on, he does not need to be on the pitch, does he? No? Okay. Andika, that's the central defender with the bad jumping, I think. No, it isn't. That's another guy. Well, they all have very similar names, at least if you learn it the first time. Big ball, well defended. 3 substitutes. Doesn't matter. Maybe. Let's have a look at those for a second. Rian Ahmad. He seems like a reasonable attacking midfielder. Passing's rather bad though. I think triggering the press will probably be fine. Also, same here. No good strength or bravery. We know absolutely nothing about him. This looks like a close down, tackle him hard too. It's the wrong one. This one is the right menu. Thank you very much. Let's go. Indra will take a free kick. That one went over. I would love to let them play through this entire match. I'm not sure if that's happening though. Ari's not a bad jumper. He is a bad finisher though. He hit his man. Alright, they made another substitution. Big ball went off. Let's see about Ramadan's corner first. That's Celestio. That would probably have hit the long post. Or maybe even the goal. So, what's with the 4th substitute? Who is it? Ardiancia? No. We know nothing about him. We do not know anything about him either. So, a little bit more than 20 minutes to go. No complaints so far about the performance in the match. Some of the defensive stuff could have been a little bit better. But that's something that's always concerning to a degree. Pass is good. Tackle, not so much. Zico, Jorge Cesar. Hell, Jorge Cesar gives the ball away to Ari and Ari gives the chance away. So, that's one of the reasons that definitely speaks against Ari, I think. Anshori, Ramadan, infantry, Romana, Ramadan again for Ari, who... There would have been a chance to pass the ball straight towards the middle. There's a decent goal scorer in the middle, up front, but apparently Ari decided he wants to waste another shot. So, Abidin could do with some experience. There's also a case to be made for Fawzi, I guess. We'll bring Fawzi for Celestio. He's not good at this, but he's not much worse than Celestio. Who else? Well, Isha can definitely do with some time on the pitch, given his sharpness. We do have Arianto available in terms of sharpness, so let's put him on too. And that will probably keep the rest. Where's Mbiri anyway? He maintains sharpness. Let's bring on Mbiri. He was somewhere on internationals. It can't have been that challenging. International football is a waste of time anyway. You want to play for your club. Suleimana, Abidin, Ramadan. That's not a penalty, it seems. No, I'm sad. Could have been a penalty. Well defended by Yusuf. Bozzi for Anshori. We probably should have taken off Anshori at some point. Isha's on the pitch and he wins the header. Anshori again. Who's this for? Abidin. And nothing. Nugra. Well, Imbiri. Do you want to go straight through the middle? Or is there some passing in this? Zico for Isha. That's just a header. He might have controlled the ball too, I think.
Oh no. Strangers. Lots of them.
I'm sure they're friendly. Welcome.
Welcome to the stream. And that's the second raid today. So thank you very much for that one. I hope you had a good day, Bastonet. So, yeah, this is Indonesia. I don't know how much you are aware of the circumstances of this league. And this is a friendly. The last one, though, for today. Afterwards, we will do the PSIS Cup, which earns a lot of money, actually. We are in the first league in Indonesia, and we are relegation candidates. So, there's that. Same as last time. Feel free to ask questions, always. Or, I don't know. Just tell me about your saves and whatever you're interested in. Alright. Let's move on with the praising here. Disappointed but understands. Being taken off. Oh yeah, we made it through the game, true. I really forgot that we could have substituted additional players. Zico is now able to perform well in his new position. Well, still not a natural though. For some weird reason. Alright, well, I guess Bastonet as well as Kimpich Moni? Is this how you pronounce this? Whatever. Feel free to elaborate on what brings you here. And obviously I might as well show you around. I did that like 10 minutes ago though. Yeah, maybe half an hour. So we are playing with a target forward. We are playing with a complete forward in case the target forward is not on the pitch. We play with a shadow striker. Hi, welcome to the stream. Apparently you're a Spurs fan. We do play with, well, it's a box standard 4-2-3-1 more or less, and we play a defensive setup most of the time, which for some reason brought, well, the fans came to the conclusion that we play attacking football in the defensive mentality. I have no idea what's going on in their heads, but apparently we create a lot of chances. Well, I'm always conflicted on to answer the question if I'm a supporter of some club or something. I always evade that one, so I guess you got that theme going for you. In comparison, I'm always like, well, I support good management, and well, I was born and raised in Stuttgart, so I guess I'm somewhat affiliated with that club. But now that they perform well in the league, it kind of feels weird to say it that way, because, you know, people might argue that I only support him right now. Well, I'm not sure. I think last season we were 5th best in conceding less than the others. So, or 7th or something. We weren't that great. But for a relegation candidate, it worked. On the other hand, defense is probably our biggest weakness right now. I'll just show you. We have the time anyway, right? So there is no second left back in the squad. At least none to speak of. The others are trash. Youth players. That's not fair. But yes, it is. They are not good. And Arianto, whilst having really great mentals and apparently developing all of a sudden, I have my doubts about, in particular, about his physical attributes. There's been more than one occasion where Arianto has been out-jumped here. Out on the wing or outrun. So we want to bring along somebody else, but, well, that guy might come or not. On the left side, Arianto plays most of the time. Now, you might argue he's not good, but he's not that bad either. 6.86 as a central defender. He's a bit slow. Positioning could be better, heading could be better. We signed him as an emergency backup and he stuck around. His replacement would be a youngster, so not going there in case we can avoid it. And then there's the real central defenders here. Halim, who is fine, I think, for this level. In particular, I like the jumping reach, and he has a nice sample of traits. That's basically box standard, no-nonsense football. And then there's Geddes Siahan. Well, he'll come in, though, in a few weeks, so not that good. On the right defensive side, I think we're more or less okay. But none of these are great either. I'll just pull this guy. He'll come in on loan at some point. He's not fantastic. He might be better than what's available to us right now, though. And this guy comes in on a transfer, if I'm not mistaken. Physicals are somewhat okay. Also, the crossing and the mentals are more or less fine. I don't know. It's not perfect. We could do better.
Hey, yet another member for the fan club.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help group?
Thank you very much for that one. Alright. So the next match actually counts. That's important. Well, it's important if we want to earn some money, and money provides value to a football club, so I guess it's all about the money in the end. So we want to win this match. Also, that would bring along another 3 points in the group stages, and we won the first match in the group of the cup. So a second win will go along big time. Where's the competition? Did the others play at this point? Oh, some of them played twice. That's not bad. And some RANS Nusatara didn't play at all? Okay. This is a weird competition. 3 matches though, and then all of the new signings come along. Transfer window will open. So we need to go through these 3 matches. Somehow keep our players uninjured. This is an Indonesian save, yes. You are totally right. Well, no, it's not true. This is a hobo save. So it is Indonesian right now, but we started out in Sweden. Absolutely clueless in the middle of nowhere in the snow, in a small village that I am very fond of these days, called Gidehogdal. Straight in the middle of Sweden. And we took him all the way from 4th League to 2nd League before getting fired. Fuck. So Ari being injured, that's not much. Moody being injured, I don't like that at all. What happened? He managed to get injured in training whilst doing attacking movement instructions? Or he did gash his upper leg whilst being on the bench with the physio, I don't know. He didn't play in the last match, so it wasn't training. In fact, it was during the physio session. So, okay. This is not bad. They play a catenaccio style, so drawing in out of defense probably helps. Let's have a look at these. This is not a good jumper, so we might stand a chance here. He's also fairly slow. It has. That said, I like Sweden very much, at least in Football Manager. It's an interesting country to play in. It seems though like the concept that Football Manager revolves around doesn't work well in Sweden. Or you might argue it's really realistic. But Sweden has like a very extended off-season where nothing's happening if you don't play the cup. The cup like starts at the later stages of the season, of the regular league season. And then there's a break in winter. And then afterwards they come back and they continue playing the cup. So in case you're still in the cup competition, you have some stuff to do. And this is basically your preseason. If you do not, there's like a preseason or 8 to 12 weeks or something, with absolutely no competition to play in. So you can play a lot of useless friendlies that do not yield experience, and none of the players will be any better at the end of it. So, seen from that perspective, the way the systems in Football Manager are intended, it does not work very, very well in Sweden. It's a challenge by itself. And, well, you just go with, let's earn some money, oh okay, we made a loss, yeah, let's earn some money, oh okay, we made another loss, from a financial perspective. So, in the end, you need to cope with that somewhat. And that's in particular true with the small clubs, like, well, I guess Johoktals IK is a very extreme example, because that village contains 500 people living there, not footballers or football fans. Like inhabitants, and there's nothing around it. You may have a look at Wikipedia or somewhere. It's really pretty though, and apparently there's agriculture up there. I don't know what kind of though. There were also we might have overdone it on the potato farmers jokes from time to time. They have a really neat concept though. They sign English players that didn't make it in the English leagues. The young guys, basically lonesome male teenagers that want to be professional footballers but didn't make it in England. And they sign them and bring them to Jytterhogdal, where they can develop well, on their own. So they are somewhat biased towards English players. Wrong club though. That has been like 10 years ago in Football Manager. Yeah, and now we're in Indonesia. Because Wales didn't want us. Or, as one of the regular followers, Mika Billion put it, Chris, get off that rock. So, we got off that rock. And now we're, I don't know, I think on Java somewhere. I didn't look it up to be perfectly honest. PSIS Senarang. Should be on Java, if I'm not mistaken. Not the programming language, the island. Well, this takes a while. So, that's more or less what's going for us right now. Well, the get off the rock challenge. that was with Tafswell FC. After being treated not very kindly by the board of Jytterhogdals IK, we brought them all the way, within 5 years I think, or 4 years, we brought them all the way from 4th league to 2nd league in Sweden. If you are aware of the gaps in terms of financials between 3rd league and 2nd league in Sweden, you will probably know that it's really hard to, in particular if you don't earn any money from fans visiting or something. It's really hard to come up with a good budget and good players. Because, well, the usual response at Jytterhogdals IK was like something like, I do not want to have anything to do with your club under any circumstance. In red, obviously. Like, literally I think 90% of the players answered like that, if they were on the level we were playing on. They were like, I will not move to a village, fuck off. Also, you can't pay me. Go away. So, that didn't help. But overall, we still made it to the second league. And the board was very unkind, because unsurprisingly, we didn't perform that well in the second league. We were destined to get relegated. And they kicked us out. And replaced us with somebody else, who did even worse. I'm proud to say it. So they went down to the third league, and one season later they went back down to the fourth. And, well, my heart's kind of twisted on that. On the one hand, I kind of learned to love the club, given that we spent 5 or 6 seasons there. I even accepted the kit color, which is orange. So, in case there's anyone that is a fan of a club with orange kits, I'm very sorry, but I despise that color. It's really horribly ugly. But I came to appreciate the circumstances. Well, I wouldn't want to go. You don't go back to your exes, do you? You just don't. There's a reason why you parted ways. And in this case, there was no respect for our personality or whatever we achieved with the club. So they can go on by themselves. And right now they're sitting in 4th league with players that are good enough for 2nd league, and they can't make it back up. So let the X do their own thing. A friend of mine always tells me, I do not have X's, I only have Y's. Kinda applies here. Okay. Yep, we will try to seize control of the group, that said. We need to keep up with PSMS, who won both of their matches. But is this the match against Persibaya? So, we want to pile on the misery here? Cool, let's do that. What do you make of your chances in this one? Well, as long as they play a defensive style, we might stand a chance. We're kinda good at breaking down opponents, playing a defensive style ourselves, so hopefully we can do that. Do you look forward to these matches in the same way the supporters do? I don't know how the supporters look forward to these matches, but I guess. Yeah, well. Wait a second. Like, the first season went reasonably well, so let's not be overconfident. I'm always the one to go with the understatement, usually. And that might be annoying to some. It's not like this, yay, everybody's excited way. But on the other hand, as long as it gets us results, I'm okay with it. So, how will we play? I don't know, we'll shut up shop and probably wait for Jorge Cesar to score a goal. Nah, we'll show the desire, that's fine. We have a good relationship with that manager. For some reason. Will I be devoting time to any special tactical considerations? Sure! We'll do the same as always, with particular preparation for the match. So, that's it. With a good tempo and plenty of passion, that fits. We always play with a good tempo. Well, when do I expect Ari back from injury? Will he be available? I don't know. What's he doing right now? Fuck. Where is he? Tight groin. I will probably not play him for the Ansias available. As I mentioned, for the Ansias available, and we rely on him a lot. That's one of the younger players, so let me just recommend for the Ansia to you for a second. You might not have seen Jorge Cesar either. I'm not sure if I pulled him up. So this is our target forward. That guy scored 42 goals in 38 matches, I think, last season. Most of them were scored in the cup. So as you can see, the concept is float some crosses in and then hope for the best. And apparently that works in aggregate, in particular in Indonesia. Quite unsurprisingly, given that everybody's a meter 60 something here. I wanna put emphasis on Ferdiancia though. Where the hell is he? Here. Wildan Ferdiancia doesn't seem that impressive, but he managed to pull off 2 assists in the league last season, which is really bad. No, it's not. It's 7 here. This is split because we signed him. No, part of it was achieved during a loan spell, so he had 7. The thing is, he also had 9 other assists in the cup within the same season. So he's kind of a good assist giver in a way, and he's getting better and better, slowly but steadily. Well, very slowly but steadily. That said, he picked up some pace, so now he's quite competitive for the league level. We will also have another winger on the right wing in the future that comes along with some crossing, and so that's good. Alright, everybody's happy with the press conference. So, sorry about that, I hit the microphone. We will also need to do a very minor break, like a minute, for basically 3 things. First of all, my purely imaginary girlfriend came home, so I want to give her a kiss. Second of all, I want to get some fresh water from the fridge. And, oh, we need to go through this meeting first, though. So let's do that. And I'll do the break afterwards. Okay! Did any of you ever do something useful in any of these meetings? Please be honest. Because it might just be me. Tell me what to do here. Other than being annoyed by the user interface. There were transfers out. Okay, we know there's no transfers in right now. Since the last recruitment meeting. Yeah, that's probably because I do my stuff outside of some random meetings. We do get the wages for these 2 and 12k in loan fee for this guy, so that's good. Sena and Huda, they do not seem to stand a chance to leave. So, seen from that perspective, we will probably move him to the affiliate. Because the affiliate, for some reason, pays the wages. And they can play there. Maybe. Go. So now I did something useful here. This is rubbish territory. As a player. He tries killer balls often and he has 6 points of passing and 3 points of vision. It doesn't help much that the rest of his mentals aren't good either. So we'll move him to the affiliate too. We got an affiliate in the 2nd league in Indonesia. So that's probably way better than what these players deserve, but they pay the wages. Transfer history, yeah, okay, that's the same. Listed players, recruitment focuses, yeah, I still do not think that we need a right midfielder. So I do not want this. And apparently they want us to make changes here. Why is that? To get more recommendations. Okay, so we'll reduce the minimum current ability a little bit. It says League 1 here. Can we do this all over Indonesia, maybe? Let him scout League 2 too. So hopefully that gives us a few more recommendations. Alright. Skip to recommendations. There is absolutely nothing. 5 in progress. That's probably because I read my reports, you know. Some people do that. Show other recommended players. Plummet Hermavan. Let's go back to this. No. Of course it doesn't show in a pop-up. well, he is not a natural for anything we do. And to be frank, I think with 30 Ansia we got a better option that's faster. He's not bad, maybe. He's expensive though, I don't like that. Is he susceptible to injury or something? You know what we'll do? We'll offer him a trial, because he might be good enough to earn some money on him instead. So assuming we sign him for cheap wages, we're probably capable of loaning him back out again, immediately, if he wants to. We'll end this meeting. No actions taken, thank you very much for the meeting. And now I will do the triple stuff break. The stuff with my imaginary girlfriend. Let's do this first. Transfer has been pulled off. We'll accept this. Michael, he's German. Michael Steinke will come into the club. Well, he's German and Indonesian. So I guess his first name will still be pronounced Michael. Mr. Steinke will join the club, who is very much a decent fullback for us. I love it. Great. And we will have his trial. Right. Bathroom break. Give a kiss to my imaginary girlfriend. Get fresh water. So, you do yours, and we'll see each other on the other side. It's like a minute or two. BRB. This is the best day ever. Welcome back, Sharon Nullet. Oh, okay, we confirmed the trial. You missed a friendly Sharon Nullet, so basically nothing. Also, you missed the signing of... Where the hell is Steinke? Here! He will join us pretty soon, and we will probably pay a lot of money for him throughout the entire time. But I'm okay with it. Also, I got a drink now. Well, it's not a drink, it's just water. Hermavan seems reasonable. I'm not convinced though. Depends on the money involved, right? Ah, water. That's better. So, I guess the question is he susceptible to injury? No shit, he is. Well, a little bit. Can we maybe sign him and loan him out immediately? These traits are more or less okay. I would want to play him as a winger though. So, assuming we sign him and loan him out immediately, well, we might just push him towards our feeder club. So that's not bad. Now we have options. I actually didn't think about that previously. But let's see. How much money does he want to earn? That's a lot of money. That's way lower though. Say we pay him 300 or something, 350 maybe. Then we push him towards a second league club, which is his level of play anyway, right? He's a good player for League 2 sides, so they will probably play him. And they will also pay him. We'll give him a 2-year contract, or we don't. Well, we'll give him a 2-year contract. For 300, yes, he can have an assist bonus, I don't care. Let's reduce that a little bit, this is rubbish. We'll also give him a goal bonus for good measure. He will not play for the first team though, so... Two-year contract is fine with him. Okay. Let's take it to 350. He can always have some of that cash. The appearance fee is alright. I don't like it much, but, you know. Let's go with this. The unused substitute fee is outlandish. 90 euros per game sitting on the bench. Let's also include a clause here in case he accepts it. He does. He doesn't mind. Nearly there. Alright, so we'll insist on the 350. And he can have his appearance fee and he can also have the signing on fee. Is there anything else? I kind of feel like we might sweeten the deal somewhat. We'll reduce the signing on fee and sweeten the deal with additional bonuses here. Because as long as he doesn't play for us, he can't achieve these bonuses, right? So we don't pay him for it. On the other hand, this is just for our first team. I don't know. If it isn't, and if we pay these bonuses even though he's out on loan, then I guess it will be a proxy for development, so this is still well invested, the money. Contrary to the signing on fee, which is just throwing money at him for no reason whatsoever. So we'll go with this. And given his above average susceptibility to injury, he might make it to the first league, he might not. Oh, I like this, by the way. Fairly consistent and enjoys big matches. Where does this come from? He's also level-headed, great. So not that bad. Let's renegotiate some of that stuff. This is fine, this is not. Can we get rid of some of that waste of money thingy here? Like it. 350, okay. Exactly about 350. Oh, he doesn't insist on the appearance fee. Well, okay. It's about 10 euros. Please tell me you do not want the goal bonus. He does. Okay. Well, that's not by much though. So, assuming he comes in, we will just loan him out immediately. He might not be excited by that, but he's not good enough for the first team. We have Ferdiancia around. Ferdiancia has a better personality. He's younger, I think. So, let's keep it like that. What's new with you, Charonelid? On the other side of the pond. I hope you had a decent weekend. And now you're off, right? Given that it's the start of the week. Time to relax a bit. Permana might be given a professional contract. It's really only Mika Billion missing right now. Well, maybe some other people too. Fuck me. Why? This is what happens if you mention a player too often. I jinxed it. Now we need to play Ari. I don't want to play Ari. Or even worse, the youngster. Where is he? Abidin. Ugh. Moody's injured too. I actually would have considered. I will not give him injections. But could then be out for 2 days. Okay, that's not much. I see. Well... Shall we invest $375 to get Ferdiancia through the next match? And then maybe lose him for 2 days? Which... wouldn't say much. I guess that would do. He'll be out afterwards anyway. So this is the first time ever that I give injections to a player, I think. Please tell me they do not get upset with this. The more courses of injections the player receives for this injury, the bigger the chance of him aggravating his injury further. Okay. We'll give him injuries. Injuries. We'll give him injections. It's been a long day. Hasn't been that long, actually. I just didn't sleep well. That's a common theme for me, I think. I need particular special football manager lullabies. Preferably the ones where we won by 5 goals or something. Alright. So, this is more or less the entirety of the group stages of the cup that's left. As you can see, not much time to develop players. Walk more, sleep equals sleep better. Sure, let me do that. That counts. Now we'll go back to Football Manager. Maybe I'll go for a walk though. In a bit more seriousness. That's a good idea. Also, I went for groceries today. I didn't walk. I guess it's cruising on the skateboard, so that counts. Maybe that helps a little bit. And I'll probably take it along to work tomorrow. Within the city, it's not a perfect way to do transportation, but it works most of the time. For some reason, in Nuremberg, where I live, they don't pave the pavement. They They put tiles on it everywhere. So riding the skateboard is like bop, 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 bop all the time. If you're lucky. If you're unlucky, some of them aren't that great, and well, just gotta have a look, right? Because if the tiles are like this and you hit them with a skateboard, it might not go well. Okay, so this will not stand. And now we need to do all of that boring stuff, but we will do it. Aussie trained well, that's fine. Great. Some minor development in Permana. That said, Permana can go away now, I think. We don't need him anymore, in particular not for this season. So we will move him to the affiliate too. Go, man! Have your wages paid by our affiliate club and you can go away. Imbiri will play, I think. Yusuf. I'm conflicted on Yusuf. The loanees will be in 2 days or something. Solistio might actually stay, not sure. Hidayatullah's kinda injured. Wahab didn't train that well. That's about it. Okay. So we'll play Owen. We'll probably play Halim just because we need to. Nobody's on the heavy match load. This is good. He is not fully fit. Where's Isha? Here. Shall we play Isha or shall we play Jorge Cesar? Anyone got an opinion on that? Let's have a look at these again. Well, his positioning is damn great. His jumping reach is 6 though. So he's not much better. Both of them should stand a chance. We'll do it like this, and Isha can be on the bench for that match. He'll probably come on though. In particular also in this position. He's been injected. Returning to full fitness imminent. Well, he'll make it through the match, won't he? I never played an injured player yet. I've been playing Football Manager for like 12 years now. Maybe 10. Maybe that's an overstatement. 8 to 10. Not sure. I never gave injections to players. I just don't like to do it. That tells you a lot about me though. Where's Imbiri? Here. I do not think there's a debate to be had here about Imbiri playing or not playing. Imbiri should play. My hopes are for Jorge Cesar as well as Imbiri. That this is one of the matches where they absolutely dominate the opposition. This screams player winger. Moody's injured. Zico's an inverted winger. Welcome back to the stream, sir. Are you here to learn more about the arts of doing football management? Well, shall we play Zico? Or will we... I guess we could go with Ari, but he's not fully fit either. We'll play Zico. Let's do the American a favor. Let's play Zico. And I'll put you to the under-21s for now. Well, there's no reason not to play Diki Tabuni, I think. There is barely a reason not to play the captain, as always. So we need a left back. Given that we do not have much of a choice, I think it will be the very consistently performing Arianto. Well, greetings back to your other half, which is probably also purely imaginary, just as mine. So our imaginary other halves now can greet each other too. I guess they would. How's this? This is all good. Okay, so we need another central defender. Who will play? I guess Harianto will, because, well, nobody else is around. if they would exist. Like, you know, girlfriends for computer scientists are like friends in general, or I don't know, social contacts. Being famous on the internet. It's all unheard of in the end. Anyway, where was I? Yusuf. Shall we really play Yusuf in this match? Probably not. Abdullah? He's not much better. Well, he's not much better, but at least his bravery goes up. Of all the things that could go up with a right back. He was injured previously. He had knee tendonitis from wear and tear. you just came over to ask about Dicky, didn't you? Dicky Tabuni is well, not much has changed with him, I think. Let's see. Where is he? Here. So we went through off season. You barely missed anything. Well, in fact, you missed something. You missed the cup final, I think. So, seen from that perspective, as you're obviously very interested in the results of this club, you might want to go back on Twitch and watch the VOD. It was really close. Well, spoiler alerts, we didn't make it to the Champions League. But it was really close. So Dicky Tabuni is fine. He does need to get into shape though. This is the start of the new season. And, well, we are doing a cup competition now. Well, you are very welcome to bond with Dicky Tabuni however you want. Hell, you might make him your imaginary boyfriend for all I care. It's fine with me. And I will definitely play him most of the time. Well, I would argue as long as he performs, but looking at this aggregate rating, I would argue he didn't perform that well. Given his skill set, there might be some room for improvement. Maybe the second season is the charm though, right? Okay, we'll hop onto the bench. We have 10 bench spots. These 3 are more or less injured, so that basically selects itself. Doesn't it? Not in entirety. Who will remain at home? We don't need Fawzi, do we? Fawzi can remain at home. Infantry can be here. And Shuri can be here. This is all good. Isha definitely, so I guess that means Abedin can come along. This is youngster stuff though. With the exception of Infantry. Let's have a look. Infantry is not a youngster. Isha is not a youngster. And, well, Anshori is... He's 20 years old. I still consider that a young player. Let's go. So, if you want to place your imaginary bets, feel free to do that now. Who's rooting for a win? Alright. So in the next match, we will probably not distribute towards the playmaker. Let's have a look at the fullbacks here. How are you guys? That looks reasonable. As does this. But then we'll go the other way. In transition, we will just go towards the target forward. Target forward should stand a chance, given that their central defenders have, well, he has 6 points of jumping reach. Plays short, simple passes too, no through balls, refrains from taking long shots. This is a case of no tight marking, and probably also not triggering the press on him, given that he's absolutely not dangerous. Let's see about the rest though. He has no traits, as far as I'm aware. He's a bit slow. He's a bit weak. For a central defender, that is. He doesn't know how to jump. Not that well anyway. This might also seem to be a case for no tight marking. But we might try to close him down. Not sure about that. Okay. So we instructed him to play a long ball, play for set pieces, probably go down the wings most of the time. I'm not sure about that yet. Probably leave it empty for now. This all should work, so all we have to do is go through our position instructions. This is a resolute striker that is friggin' fast. Well, more or less. Good finisher, good header. I think we suffered at his hands, well, at his feet, from time to time. 15 points off the ball movement, so fuck tight marking in particular. That will not work. And close him down. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to mark him tightly anyway. His bravery is okay-ish. His dribbling is okay-ish. I don't like this. This is dangerous. Abidin, not to be confused with ours, even though he's also an attacking midfielder on the left side. This guy though is left-footed. Knocks the ball past the opponent, basically has the acceleration and the pace of Ferdiancia. He has a good cross though. Let's show him to the inside and close him down. Who else? Well, his dribbling is decent. Maybe we should ease off tackles here. 10 points though, I don't know. Ease off tackles a little bit, I guess. Santoso, his dribbling is not as good. Neither is his bravery and strength. Good off the ball movement though, so tight marking probably won't work. First touch of 16, passing of 11, vision of 10, composure of 10. To close this guy down is bad too. He will not care. What's the instruction? They say we should trigger the press here. Not sure if I want to. So what will we do? He's right-footed. His crossing is shit. Ah, that's a difficult decision. So if we show him to his weaker foot... Oh no, this is the central attacking midfielder. Never mind. Well, in that case, I would argue he needs to be taken out anyway. He has a good long shot too. So we'll go with the hard tackles despite his good dribbling. Because the rest of the attributes does not really say that he likes it. So, or he doesn't care. So we'll go down his face or something. I don't know. He's right-footed only, that's the winger. I was confused for a second. Muhammad Hartano. Well, showing him to the left foot means he cuts inside most of the times. Which means he relies on his wonderful passing and 4 points of vision. So he does shoot from distance too, with 6 points of long shot. He has a good dribbling attribute though. Probably trigger a press on him. That leaves us with 2 candidates for playmaking material here. 11 points of passing and 7 points of vision. And 6 points of passing and 9 points of vision. He seems like a defensive option. He also seems like he does not know how to deal with a ball at all. The thing is, he's brave enough not to tackle him hard. I'd love to get the ball off him though. That might be an idea. So trigger the press on him. His off the ball movement is shit, but we cannot mark him tightly anyway. Look at this attribute sample. He will just out jump his marker. So let's not do that. Let's not tight mark him, close him down instead. Which means our pressing goes towards Priyata, Muhammad Priyata. And Totok Setyavan is the one that can be marked tightly. That makes sense. Given that his physicals are also a bit worse. He is somewhat pacey. Off the ball movement is really bad though. Dribbling, bravery, and strength are total rebel too bad. We'll go with hard tackling here. And triggering the press on him, I don't know. We'll leave that empty. Okay, so let's have a look at the fullbacks too. He's got good crossing. I'm not a big fan of the passing, but he has good crossing. So triggering the press on him seems reasonable. We will probably not mark him tightly. He might be too fast. Given that the responsible people would be our wingers. So in this case, would it be Zico? It would be Zico. Not sure if this is a good idea. His dribbling is really bad though. Given that bad of a dribbling, I'll go with the hard tackling. And Susanto, his crossing is worse. His marking is a lot better. He's the defensive one of the two, isn't he? Gets forward whenever possible though. Short simple passes, marks opponents tightly, refrains from taking long shots. That seems like, in particular the short simple passes, seems like he's not that dangerous. So I'll leave this empty. Let's go. Nobody predicted results for the match yet. What kind of followership is this? Imbiri is hurt. It's feeling hurt because Priata is physically much stronger. Well, Imbiri, you just need to run past him. Don't you worry. We'll be fine. Dressing room says, let me look again at the tactics in possession. Yeah, we are fairly wide. Okay, that's what I was looking for. We gotta win this. Apparently everybody expects us to lose here. Well, in that case, we will ease the pressure. Nobody cares. And then we will give him some encouragement. I was hoping somebody to be nervous, but apparently they weren't. There you go. That's the best I can do right now. Do I think the first goal here will be crucial? I don't know, as always. What's the mood in the dressing room at the moment? I don't know. Would you argue that this mood is rather positive? Probably, right? We are unbeaten in 3 matches against Persibaya. How did we manage to do that? Sure, let's be friendly with the press guy. I really think it does not matter though. We should concentrate on this particular situation, not on some sort of run. So, let's go. And I will encourage them immediately. Let's see if we can make out something that is relevant right now. Also, let me check one thing. No, he doesn't mark anyone tightly. Do we want to? Well, we told him not to mark, we told them not to mark any of the central defenders tightly, because they're no good. So, maybe it's better not to do that, and to close the one of the two down instead. A throw in. What will we do with that? Tabuni, Arianto with a cross for Harianto. First chance of the match. Didn't hit the target though. Here's another Ari. Sadly, he's not as bad as ours. Most likely. That's decent passing. Setyavan. We can see the weaknesses of Arianto already. Berliancia. Sukipta wins the header. Imbiri's not one for headers, but this time it goes unchallenged. Sukipta for Zico. And we delay play a little bit, it seems. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure. Abdullah. Alim. Tabuni. Sukipto. What's Ferguson known for, from your perspective anyway? Other than being third. Tabuni. Imbiri, that's a great pass! And that's a penalty. Ah! Now who will take the penalty? Jorge Cesar himself. First goal of the season? Fingers crossed. Go! What a penalty! He blasted that one all the way to row C. Straight through the net. That was really decent. A goalkeeper, he had the corner. He didn't stand a chance though. Well, so much for a good start. top spot in our group right now. This also is worth like, I don't know, 5 to 10k in euros. I'm not aware of I don't think we get anything for losing, right? Fucking hell. That was a good free kick. Well, but it's Manchester United. I guess that's a plus, but on the other hand, do they really have good publicity these days? Maybe I'm just weird, but the only thing I know about Manchester United more or less is that they waste money these days. And also, basically, like all the clubs in Manchester. Come to think of it. It's not even their own money as far as I'm aware. But, on the other hand, I'm just a random German, so what do I know? And, well, Manchester United is also known in particular for being an assholes about licensing on Football Manager. So, that goes as far as unsympathetic can be a thing about a club, even though I have no idea about the club. You're welcome. For the Ansia with the corner, Halim. That's not a corner, it was a free kick. Imbiris, that's nothing. Well, that free kick was great. Gotta give him that. We gotta give him that. Sadly, not much gets created so far. Ferdiancia will take another free kick here. Headed by Halim, and that's an easy one for the goalkeeper. They should do better here. So if we draw... No, we won't draw. Mill will win this. Yet another free kick. Halim didn't even get his head to the ball. It's well defended though, at least. Halim, Abdullah... I should probably quote her in this case. Problem is, the rest of the stream will probably not be fluent in German anytime soon. So Kipto... Abdullah... Come on, man. Nice cross. Jorge Cesar, and that's another chance, but sadly the goalkeeper's around. But this is basically the way we scored half of the goals last season. Probably 2/3. These should not be very threatening. Well... Owen saw that one. It's quite the opposite of weak though. That was fine, and well, it was weak by Harianto, so I guess the schwach can be applied here. We did have the better chances, but that doesn't say much given that we got a penalty awarded to us. Owen, Jorge Cesar, come on, do something with this. They did not manage to break apparently. Harianto. Long ball. That's rubbish. I need chocolate for the nerves. My major concern with Mbiri is he's really not useful in any of the physical duels in midfield. At least not the ones that rely on strength and jumping reach. For the Yancia, that's not bad. Could have made it. Artono, close him down, please? No? Well, the Sukipto wrecking ball was on his way. And now we get the offside. Great. Would have preferred Sukipto's scene to play out. That's a bit too far, sadly. We're barely creating chances here. We'll try to instruct to go down the wings more often here. Should make some sense given the formation. On the other hand, Jorge Cesar's heading is in the middle of the pitch. So Kipto towards Ferdiancia. Imbiri tries to go for the header. Ferdiancia for Sukipto, Tabuni again. This is not what I expect of Dicky Tabuni, by the way. This, though, is a wonderful pass. Ow! Jorge Cesar should do better. So that was definitely schwach. Yet another bad corner taken by Arianto. Not my Dicky. I should start to go on Twitter, whatever it's called these days, X. Elon Musk's playground, probably. Not my Dicky. That will trend for all the wrong reasons, man. Zico on his weaker left foot. So what do we do here? I guess the performance overall is fine. They do seem to be motivated. In particular, right now, after I encouraged them, they seem to be motivated, so I will keep it like that. It's not about motivation. It's about luck, more or less. Imbiri for Jorge Cesar, who loses the ball. Ferdiancia wins back the ball. And given that there's nobody else around, I guess he goes for a run. Out on the wing. And we get another corner. Corners are good. We love those. Come on, Arianto. Let's score another goal. That's not the way you do it. Ferdiancia, Imbiri, nice one. Ferdiancia, oh. Tabuni, Imbiri. Tabuni again. Jorge Cesar. Zico. Sukipto. We could exploit the space out here. Problem is that would be really dangerous. Sukipto towards Ferdiancia though, that's not dangerous. Nice cross, and Zico is the wrong target. Who taught him to target anyone else? Should go towards Jorge Cesar. Did I mention, by the way, that usually I stream Mondays and Fridays, 6 PM German time, so that should be GMT +2 or something? Perfect! One of them hurt himself. So that's my advertisement for today. Yeah, usually it is. There's also in between streams, random little accidents, if I have time. I try to stick to the schedule though. That said, you know, I have a job, so sometimes the job brings me somewhere else. And in that case, I will not adhere to the schedule that much. It will be on the Discord server though. How much do you stick to your schedule in comparison, Mr. Coffee Man? I'm a big fan of Bob Ross, what can I say? Also, we painted the remainder of the season pretty well, so I will stick with that if the results go on like this. On the other hand, maybe I should have taken a break and we would have made it to the Champions League. Who knows? It's I blame it on Sharon Nullet, he wasn't around. That's on him. That loss in the cup. We could have made it. Well, am I happy with that? Not really. You know what? I wanted to be a bit more aggressive this season. So let's be a bit more aggressive. Okay. Let's not be too aggressive though. That said, as a club captain 6.5 will not do. Neither will the 6.7 ratings here. You stick to your schedule 98%. I would not be able to do that, I think. I'm like, okay, what's next week? Oh fuck, I need to cancel two sessions. That's just me. I'm really bad at planning. You know, luckily in software development, planning for releases or stuff is not important, so I don't need that skill set. Doesn't matter. It's done when it's done. Just like Blizzard. Blizzard might also be done pretty soon, given the release of Diablo 4 and what happened to the game subsequently. On the other hand, financially it was a success, right? So it's just the publicity that is done. They can hire an entirely new marketing department after what happened. Not sure if it will help. So Crypto. These are probably the poorest sots in the whole company. The marketing department at Blizzard. Well, or Activision or whatever it is these days. Dealing with all of that stuff. That was a bad finish. We don't seem to make much of an impact. Focus of the attacks is more or less even. Is there anyone in particular that comes to mind that's pretty weak? Yeah, the central defenders. You know what? We'll do the contrary thing. We'll go through the middle for a while. And we'll try to go towards the central defenders instead. Maybe even cross early. In fact, that might be a good idea. Maybe even cross early. Just going towards the central defenders, because they seem to be rather weak right now. Verdiancia towards Harianto, that's a very good goal. Also weak. So, that didn't go well. Long kick by Ari. It's a striker that's injured. I can appreciate that. Do we tackle him in a hard way? Jorge Cesar is tired. Don't do anything stupid, guys. We've had enough stupid for today. With that free kick. Jorge Cesar, Mr. Tired. Verdiancia. Come on. There was a good passing opportunity somewhere. Imbiri. Oh, Imbiri. Yeah, time for Isha it is. To be fair, we do need his creativity anyway, so let's put him on. This is what a complete forward looks like. I'm not sure if he's on the level for this match as a complete forward, but I think we'll try. Zico also seems to be a little bit tired. Try to score the winning goal, Isha. You can do it. Jorge Cesar is getting tired pretty fast throughout the matches. Halim, Sakipto, Tabuni. Verdiancia, that's good. Instant impact. That's alright, isn't it? Also with an asshole's finish. He lobbed it over the keeper, didn't he? Verdiancia was fast enough and he... well, okay. It isn't bad. Given that he came on like 5 seconds ago, that's probably the best impact you can have. This is what happens once Chernalid is around. I blame it on him too. So, you just gotta stop working Chernalid. Can't do that anymore. I need you full-time as an assistant manager. Well, that looks decent. Who got the yellow card? I don't know. Mr. Nurkolis, which is a central defender, so that's good. We'll go through the middle once more. Let's also have a look here. So Zico's somewhat tired. Who's available? Well... What about my wage structure? Oh, the one in real life. Yeah, the one in real life, you get paid as well as I do, so I can pay you a few cents, if that makes sense. Well, none is available that can replace Zico. Iskandar doesn't know how to play there. Abidin belongs onto the other wing. Ferdiancia does pretty well on the left side. I will not put him to the right. And that's about it. So I guess Zico will make it through the rest of the game. Ferdiancia takes the corner. Isha doesn't jump. And Haryanto loses out on that duel. Okay. That's not good. Momentum of the match seems fine though. So it was a random accident, that free kick. We are really well in control of this game, otherwise. Only problem is it's only one goal. Halim doesn't make it 2 goals. Well, it is 2 goals. We need a 2-goal difference, you know. Zico's still tired. Setyavan. Putra. Fuck me. Honestly. Oh. They must be Italian. Not standing a chance for the entirety of the game and then something like this happens. It's Indonesia though. They come in green at least. So let's have a look. They substituted a few players. I hate it. Yeah. That's not too bad, sadly. Kornjavan. Yeah. True. He likes to round the keeper, he has decent off-the-ball movement, we gotta close this guy down and then hope for the best, I guess. Dani Putra just made an instant impact. Thank you very much for that. He has 7 points of long shots. Decent technique. Hits free kicks with power. That's not a free kick though. I'm still annoyed by this. 2 set-piece situations and we concede in both. Off-the-ball movement's shit. Alright, let's mark him tightly. He is somewhat strong, but we might be able to out-jump him. Dribbling is okay. No hard tackling, probably. Hidayat. I remember this guy. He's on the wing, though. He's considered to be an inside forward on the right wing, so this is the wrong wing for him. Let's definitely show him to the inside so that he can finish. That's not good. Shall we show him to the outside instead? He should be really bad at this. So we show him to the right foot, actually. He's good on that foot. The thing is, he can only shoot on that foot, and, well, the angle is not very favorable. So, we'll do that. Also, did I see bad dribbling? No, dribbling's good. The rest of it is crap. So, I guess we go with easy. I don't like that. Still dangerous. We have 20 minutes to go here. Imbiri didn't make much of an impact. Being a good player and all, it certainly doesn't show so far. That's not bad. You're just too slow though. I still can't believe it. So Kipto's shown a yellow. We'll leave him on, I think. Okay, so who can come on? I think so. And we bring on Abidin. That's... I mean, he's focused. So at least he wants to make an appearance. Let's do this. And Ferdiancia will play as a winger. No, inverted winger. Ferdiancia is rubbish here, though. The traits are completely different. He has decent passing. I'll give him that. Cuts inside of the ball apparently is conflicted with something else. Cross less often, I don't know. His crossing is 7, I think. Do we still do the early crosses? We can probably get them away at this point. And I will not try to go through the middle anymore. Well, we might still try. Most of their players are really tired. I'm starting to think we should go overload, but I don't want to lose that 1 point too. That would be devastating. We still have one more substitute to do. Unsurely for... I guess that's a thing. The alternative is infantry. And I really don't want to bring on infantry. On the other hand, switch in the central defender. No, you know what? We'll bring on infantry for Sukipto instead. Tell me that this works. I'm not that happy with the performance of Sukipto in this match, and he's on a yellow. So... now this is a weird setup. Oh! Ferdiancia clips the crossbar. Ugh. I do. He's too expensive and his attribute sample isn't good. Also, his performances haven't been up to the standard I expect of a player with that amount of money in his pocket. So, I do carry a grudge. Infantry. Ferdiancia. I will... What the hell, Ferdiancia? Win back that ball. Tabuni does. And loses it subsequently. Putra, Setyavan. Should be easy. It is. Isha. Tabuni. And nothing. I will encourage the team once more. Looking at this, we should go down the left. Hell, we might try to go for the overlap. That said, our players don't overlap. Well, obviously we might try to tell them, but in this situation, that's damn risky. We have a problem with the fullbacks already. Let's keep it like this. Some of them do really great passing. For example, Dicky Tabuni, Abidin, and... well... you should have put it into your own net, man. This goes through. Everybody's encouraged. Go, guys. Arianto takes his time for some reason. You don't have to, man. Given the amount of chances, this is so unfair. But it's football, this is not fair. Ferdiancia on his regular wing. Abdullah puts his foot onto the ball. Abdullah... Imbiri wins the header. Ferdiancia doesn't win the duel in the penalty area. Doesn't matter, it was offside anyway. Will we actually go with a draw here? From a match like this. This feels so like last season. Performance has been totally fine. We just can't get the result. Abidin, Setiadi. Yeah, how about defending? Long ball. Infantry wins the header, so that's a plus for him. Tabuni. Wonderful long ball for Abidin, who cuts back. Nice cross. It doesn't find the target though. Putra intercepted by infantry. I'm happy with infantry right now. It was a nice header and also good passing so far. That's not bad. The infantry for the Ansia. Come on. They pile on the pressure. Tabuni. That's not good. Oh, Tabuni. He's not a decent shooter. And that's it. But we go a little bit wider for the remainder of the match. still... I feel like I should go with hoofball, given how tired they are. And, well, our best man is on the left side right now. Not skill-wise, but he's fit. So, I guess we will go down that wing. Well, Dicky Tabuni is not a good shooter. He's a decent passer. The problem is he rarely uses those. If he would use his vastly superior passing as much as Jorge Cesar his head, we would have a very good chance to score an additional 10 or 20 goals. Abidin intercepts. Nice. Brilliancia cuts inside. Infantry for Abdullah. He roams forward. Decent. Brilliancia. That's not good. Tabuni intercepts. Great play. Makes good for the last effort, I guess. Arianto. For Arianto. It's a cross from deep. That's fine. Come on, Mbiri. What the hell? Pick a pass or a shot. Not something in between. So much for 17-year-olds on the pitch. Mbiri for Tabuni. 1 minute to go. For the Jansja into nothingness? Tabuni. 50 seconds. Tabuni's long ball towards Ferdiancia, who wins the header, and Isha, well... It's offside. Come on, this can't be the result. Conceding 2 times after free kicks. Really? I guess we'll take a draw, given how much time wasting they do. Isha, and that's it. Oh, well. Should I be annoyed with the performance, given that it was fantastic, according to expected goals? We shouldn't have conceded twice. Performance was totally fine. Maybe we should have scored a third. So, yeah, that was lackluster. We'll be positive about it. It's not like they didn't try. And well, match experience is match experience. That said, you didn't play well, and I will tell you. Simon Owen also could have saved one of the two. That wasn't good either. Yeah, well, it's a point. And depending on the other results in the group, it's either a point won or a point 2 points lost, you know. I'm gonna be honest. So they are asking about a 24-meter shot against us today, which, as you said, it's a good goal. So I think I'll go with this. I'll begrudgingly admit to be impressed. He fully deserves it. Damn. So, still in the second spot here. And they got their first point. Otherwise, they didn't stand a chance. We had so many chances. So now we get 18k. And Ferdiancia's got a bruised knee. So we will not give him additional injections. This time though. 3 days. until we need everybody back onto the pitch. Alright. Hopefully nobody gets injured. This is also probably the perfect time to include a short break, so I will do that. Nothing missed. The performance in the last match heavily favors us. Problem is, the result doesn't. Just a draw. So we will need to make good for it against PSMS, which are the top team right now in this group. There's an icon missing here. Great! Mr. Senna leaves for Bontang. That's good. They pay his wages. This is what we get. Fantastic. So now the development of the youngster can continue in League 2. These play a Route 1 style in a 4-4-2. Perfect. So please tell me... He has 3 points of jumping reach. A central defender that knocks the ball past the opponent with 3 points of jumping reach. I'm loving it already. He's better though. So, yeah. Horseshoe says I might stand a chance, as might Isha. There's Haryanto's on the heavy match load, otherwise Imbiri. Okay. We didn't have any particular tactical training here. We need to include defending training down here. Not for the defensive attributes though, just for triggering the press in a more reasonable manner. So, given the performance in the last match, I don't think there's much to change. We can probably look at some of the players, maybe some of them need official warnings, come to think of it. You know, micromanagement is always very encouraging. So let's have a look at that for a second. 6.7 rating, conceded 2 goals, that's not good enough, sir, we will tell you. Passing wasn't that great either. 7.4 rating, he scored, so I guess that's fine. We'll praise him for that. Okay. So Kipto on a 6.5. That's probably the worst rating in the entire squad. He didn't create any chances. I know he's a ball-winning midfielder, still we can criticize him for not creating chances, so we'll do that. And he can accept it. Good stuff. 6.9 rating. Well, Dicky Tabuni played well. The problem is he only played well. That's not great. It's only okay. No chances created. You know it's your job, man. It's clearly in the description. It says playmaker. So make the play. This is decent passing on Zico's behalf. No chances created though. Perfect morale, no use talking to him anymore. 6.5 rating for Abdullah. I didn't expect anything else, I think. No chances created though, so lack of creativity is something that we can go with. To be fair, he was trying. 6.6 rating on a youngster. I don't want to be too hard on him, but, well, he had 15 minutes to create something and he didn't, so I guess we'll tell him. Unshuri barely played. 7.0. A 7.0 rating on Arianto? What is happening? Great. Good performance, sir. In particular, your tackling. 5 key passes too. I won't complain about Arianto in that circumstance. 7.8 rating by Ferdiancia. As expected, he provided an assist. He won a tackle too, and well, I guess we praise him for the creativity. He can accept that. Halim is on a 7.5 rating, despite conceding twice. A really good defensive heading. That's like a heading, that's 90% or something. Heading ratio, right? Well, no, it's not. Anyway. We'll go with praising his defensive heading. Arianto, the same. I think he did pretty well. Hidayatullah didn't play. 6.5 for Mbiri. This will give you an official warning. And also, you had 3 shots, but I will probably criticize the lack of chances created. 1 is not enough. Okay. There's infantry. 6.7 rating, 14 out of 15 passes, so I guess we praise that. Where's the passing? Yeah. And we can criticize the fact that none of the passes was a creative one. There you go. Vayan Isha, he scored. What's there to say? He scored. So, being a good scorer and all, that's good. Iskander didn't play, and that's Moody, he didn't play either. And then we're back with Simon Owen. Alright, that's them. I'm starting to become... I'm getting faster and faster with all of the feedback for the players. I'm sure it's still annoying to watch, but, you know, it helps, so I guess we do it. And Sukipto apologizes. So, what went up? Determination? That wasn't needed, but whatever. Oh, that's good. This is a bonus to work rate on his behalf. It's certainly something that's missing, yes. Anticipation went up a little bit too. And also we can praise his training, you know, because we can. We will play against RANS, will we? Yes. No, we will not. Whatever. Oh, it's played in their stadium. Well, that's an interesting way to do the competition. So, we play in each other's stadiums, but not in a stadium that gives a home advantage to anyone. I wasn't aware. This is a great way to schedule stuff. Just imagine, I guess, Bayern Munich and Dortmund playing in Stuttgart for the cup competitions. To play on a neutral ground. Why not? I don't think the fans will be happy though about that. In particular in Indonesia. Like, they need to fly from one island to the other. See their own club. He can go away, that's good. Bye. Some of these are viable options for the first team. Or at least viable options for the senior squad, I would argue. So, kinda excited about those. My vast experience as a streamer, by the way, tells me that you should all follow along, and I need to include a call to action into this stream. So, I did that. No. That's morale out of the window. Begging for follows. Yeah, well, we want him, and then we will loan him out immediately. Let's talk about this. I don't know, will he? One day. Do you think the way Tiki Tabuni plays could make him ideal for this game? So the way this question is phrased, I would answer with no, probably not, given that he doesn't play that well. Considering though, he has a skill set that will bring it to the pitch at one point, hopefully. I would argue probably he should play, yes. And that's all the questions for today. So there's that. Hermavan Moody could make a comeback, yeah, that's true. And Hermavan will come in, well, I guess next episode. That, or we are rushing through this, and we will make it all the way through the entire group today. Who knows? The expectation, by the way, just so you're aware, the expectation for this competition is to finish bottom of the group league. We are sitting at 4 points right now, so to make sure of that we need one additional win. And then everybody will be happy with us. If we go even further, no debate, they will be excited. I'm not sure if we will bring along either of them. I think we should probably drop Abidin though. And bring along maybe Ari. Ari can play on both wings at least. Maybe Ari would have been the solution last time out. Maybe that's the solution. Let's have a look at this though. See, Tabuni's developing a little bit. His positioning gets better and better. At some point he might intercept additional balls, that's good. So you chose the right player, Mr. Coffeeman. This is also fine. No ground for praising anymore though. Fawzi will probably not be on the bench. That said, he trains well, so that's good. Did he improve an additional time, or is this still the last one? This is still the last one. Well, off the ball movement did go up quite a lot though. So I like that. I also think the long throws are a waste. Yeah, well, in the case of Tiki Tabuni, to be honest, I think he reached a peak. At least for his current age. He might grow older and then he might get a little bit better. But no, I'll look into it in a second. I think the long throws do not need to be trained anymore. It barely serves a purpose. He'll get there at some point. Ball control, though, on the other hand, his dribbling's shit. And I think additional points in dribbling, first touch, and technique will not hurt in his general play. His technical skills are the weakest, with the exception of the off-the-ball movement, obviously. His off-the-ball movement is shit too. But the rest of his mentals somehow makes up for that, I think. The technical skills, though, yeah, he's lost there. The same with the physicals to a degree. We could also put him on additional pace training or something. Tiki Tabuni, I just want to show you. If we look at this overall, as a deep lying playmaker, there's barely any progress. I mean, some of these have gone up, mostly the mental stats. His technical skills went up, and for some weird reason it is technique, passing, and first touch. Okay, he trains for that role, so that makes sense. But looking at the rest of his attributes, he's really so bad with most of these things. He shouldn't have a hard time increasing his long shots or his dribbling or hell, even his crossing. He doesn't need to train for it. It cannot be that hard to improve as a professional footballer from crossing 1 to crossing 2, even if you're a playmaker that does not play on the wing. And it's similar with the physicals. But all that improved was his stamina for some reason. So, I don't know. It's a bit weird. I would be okay with his attributes overall if he had better attributes in the rest of, better ratings in the rest of the attributes. So that's why I do not consider him to be developing that well. This is fine. For Yancia, on the other hand, there's no, how do I put this? The pace of his development is not that great. He is pacey though, and so he brings it to the pitch at this point. And the pace compensates for the lack of the rest of the attributes. Halim is somebody that develops pretty well, but he's 23 now, I think. The argument is pretty similar. Halim and Tabuni they didn't reach their peaks yet, but 23 and 24, if we want to maximize on the amount of money we can make on those, we would need to sell them pretty soon. I do not want to though, so we'll probably keep them. Celestio trains well. There's a minor improvement in marking and strength, I guess that's okay. Zico 7.85, I will not praise players under an 800. Okay, I hope you're ready for another one of these matches, hopefully with a better result. Well, first of all, hopefully with a similar performance. If we pull off another performance like this, we will probably get a result, if we're not really, really unlucky. And I don't know. Unlucky needs to run out at some point. Angung Furbiancia. That doesn't look like somebody I'm willing to sign, so go away. There's an update on the recruitment focus. I don't want to bother with that right now. So, yet another match. Atmosphere is great. Team cohesion is great. Support is pretty decent. The social groups got aggregated. This is perfect, so now most of the club is fairly professional or something along the way. And these are the others. Some of these will leave at some point. In fact, Permana might leave pretty soon. He's on the transfer bid right now. And we will probably keep the others for now, but Infantry is destined to leave at the end of the season. Because, well, I carry a grudge, it seems. Okay. Arianto. He's under heavy match load, so I guess Infantry might make an appearance here. Hopefully not making any errors in defense. No, Chernal, we did not. We had... Well, I'll show it to you. Where is it? I'll just click on View Match to pop up the analysis. Expected goals says 0.31 to 2.23. They scored after 2 set pieces. The expected goals story by itself tells you pretty much all you need to know about the match. As well as the shot map. We had a ton of chances. We could have scored another 1 or 3. But in the end it's more about that we conceded 2 goals. And I consider this random freak accidents. Because one was a direct free kick, and the other one was a long shot from distance. It was a screamer. In German they have a word for this. Sonntagsschuss. The signings come in later. Thank you very much for joining, and hug your imaginary girlfriend from me. We will probably see each other pretty soon. You're welcome anytime. On Friday latest, I guess. That or on one of your streams. In case anyone here is fluent in German, you might want to check out Der Kaffeemann. If you're not, well, try to learn it. Air was hacked. it's a perfect computer scientist's girlfriend hack, right? Goes like this. And then the imagination runs hot, or whatever. Our goalkeeping coach is wanted by Bali United? Fuck off, we will keep him. He's good. Thanks. Have a nice evening, man. I don't want to bother with Persia. They spent 1.2 million per annum. Not bad. I want to keep the goalkeeping coach though. He's really important to us. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Let's go with 200. This is your current wage. So close. Okay, let's make it 210. I don't care. Just as long as you do not... That's perfect. As long as you do not sign for Bali United, though. Alright. Well, let's do the match. Permana moves out. Give me a second here. Permana's sitting on the bench right now. We do not have another left back. Yeah. You want to go through them? I mean, I guess we can do that. Being excited and all for them. Okay, we loan him out, and in case we need a left back, Abdullah will need to do. Alright, let's go through the transfers, given that you're around. So, this also is okay for everyone new to this save, I guess. Alright, this is a loan. We are desperately looking for a right back that is appropriate for our team. He's not fantastic, but you might remember Malik. He's more or less on the same level, so that's not exactly a compliment. But we signed him for free, I think, given that he's a loan. He's extremely interested in a permanent transfer, apparently, and it doesn't show here, but his susceptibility to injury is very low. Also, fairly consistent performer and fairly pro. I don't like this, but overall I think he will do just fine. He also brings some flexibility along with him. Plays short, simple passes, which is fine for him. Dives into tackles, which is also fine for him. Runs with ball rarely, I guess with 2 points of dribbling, that's a plus. And he does not take long shots. So, a role model of a box standard, boring right back. If he develops just a little bit with us, I'm perfectly happy with this guy. The biggest problem about Muhammad Siman Yuntak is me pronouncing his name. Probably. That and maybe his performances won't be good. Because with Borneo, he didn't stand much of a chance, but we do not expect much of him, other than passing the ball around and being a decent defender. Later on, that was after we signed him. Or after we dealt with the loan. Later on, Saputro became available. And Saputro became available, and we signed him for free, I think. So, if we compare the two now, he's the more attacking version, I guess. Given that he has decent crossing and, well, the rest of his attributes are okay-ish. Kinda reminds me of Arianto on the other side, but let's compare him to the other right back. See? Saputro is a bit better in midfield. Both of them are not very fast. But whatever. This is what we can afford. And in the case of Saputro, we can actually afford it on a long-term basis now, and I think he wasn't susceptible to injury either. The estimated wage was really low. I think we pay him like 120 or something now. But he's cheap. Hopes are that his personality changes throughout time. I didn't go so much for personalities this transfer window. Siahan. Well, that's a central defender that marks opponents tightly. As you can see, he's unambitious though. Either-footed. I wouldn't say he's great, but we were looking for an alternative to Haryanto, and he is an alternative to Haryanto. So let's give him some time on the pitch. He's a 19-year-old after all. Might develop a little bit, might develop a lot. Who knows? We also signed him for free from Arema. And well, lately Arema material has been okay, so I guess that's fine. This is Akbar. We just want to loan him out. He comes in as a perfectionist, and I will toss him straight towards the affiliate club. I want him to play in the second league, the odd match here and there, and if he develops, that's great, and if he doesn't, they pay his wages. Michael Steinke, which is Indonesian/German, so he counts as an Indonesian nationality. This is our Arianto replacement. He does knock ball past the opponent, which suits him just nicely, given his bad dribbling, and he curls the ball. So that might improve his opportunity to play a decent cross, I guess. Given that there is a good header up front, maybe that helps. That said, I was really just looking for a replacement for Arianto in case he hurts himself. And Steinke, I think, has low susceptibility to injury too. And quite surprisingly, he decided to come to our club and not to whatever the other one was. The other one was a League One club too. So we stood a chance there. Be aware, we pay 8k for him and up to 45k together. So this is the star signing, basically. He's not that good. We're paying for the future, basically. Nugroho is a free signing that has been decided upon for a long time. Now, Diki Tabuni will get some pressure, I guess. And he has a weird sample of attributes overall, but more or less he's a playmaker with good heading. And, well, acceptable jumping. His passing and his vision could improve a little bit, though. On the other hand, at least he's got some positioning. Diki Tabuni is still working on that. Hermaman is one to loan out immediately. This is not as good as Ferdiancia. The crossing's a bit better overall, though. I think we loan him out. He is second league material, and if he does a season there, preferably on the left attacking midfield position, he will probably be just fine. Then there's Setyavan. Saiful Setyavan comes in also as a second league option in a way, but we do not have a decent winger on the right wing right now. We have inverted wingers, no wingers. For certain tactics, 8 points of crossing with that pace and acceleration, and also decent passing, work rate, and so on, That's good. He barely has any weaknesses for his winger profile, so I'm gonna go with that. Also, really good flair, even though there's some stuff missing. He's 25 though, but on the other hand, you know, even a 25-year-old can develop a little bit. So maybe as a backup member slash a useful option for the odd game here and there, he will probably do. Also cheap, as far as I'm aware. Hamza, yeah, that's one for the youth. I signed him because acceleration and pace look decent, and crossing and dribbling too. I'll probably toss him to the second league team though. He will not be around the senior squad, and neither will HEB. Same here. Probably we will toss him towards the second league team. And if he develops, that's good, and if he doesn't, I don't care. We don't pay his wages. That's it. No other transfers. In particular, no other striker, because, well, Jorge Cesar and Isha are around, and I do follow your instruction. The idea of the complete forward. It's fine. You're welcome. And thanks for joining, and thanks for watching, as always. We will probably see each other Friday latest. I hope you have a good day. And, yeah. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, where was I? We have Isha, so I don't think we need another striker. We'll probably go with this. We just lost the left back, so we're waiting for that one to come in. But apart from that, probably not Abidine. Where is he? Let's bring along Moody. At least he has personality. Also, composure and bravery and technique went up for some reason. What the fuck, Moody? What are you doing? Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess that's positive. Technicals went down even more. Well. So now we gotta defeat the leaders in the group right now. PSMS Midan. Not sure if they are strong or weak or whatever. We'll see. Alright. I will ignore this, as one should. Club atmosphere can't be much better. Well, morale of the players isn't that great, but I think overall this is fine. Jorge Cesar is still not really fit. Neither is Ferdiancia. Yeah, the schedule's getting to them. So we play Isha for Jorge Cesar. No, we do not. He's under heavy match load, that's even worse. We'll stick with him for now. Imbiri seems to be tired, that's not good. Obviously we can go with Iskandar or even Hidayatullah, probably Iskandar. That's a low grade option though. Not good. Don't like it at all, that's a youth player, he belongs in League 3 or something. He did get a point of jumping reach there. For whatever reason. Probably he just grew, really. Zico and Ferdiancia don't seem to be fit. Ari is. As is Moody. So we'll go with the B team here. I hate to do this. But on the other hand, I want fresh people on the pitch. And these are more or less fine. Nobody starts. That's under heavy match load right now, so that's okay. Let's go. Yeah, no reason to change any of the others. This is an away game. Well, it's on neutral ground. Still an away game. And given that we play a 4-4-2, I think we will try to exploit the middle of the pitch this time out. Gotta have a look at the players first though. I think we will. We also play with inverted wingers, so that makes sense. And distribution not to playmaker but to target forward. Alright. What's going on here? Oh, they come in good form. Let's start with the striker. Pacey! Good off the ball movement, bad finishing, passing is decent, knocks the ball past the opponent, so close him down and hope. We can probably tackle him hard. 8 points of strength are not bad, but his crossing is substandard and his bravery is absurdly bad. Sofyan. Same. Dribbling's bad, bravery is acceptable, strength is low, he's a casual. Fuck him up. Hidayatullah, not to be confused with our Hidayatullah. That looks decent for a winger. It's not fantastic, but it looks decent. And I will probably go with easing off tackles. Don't want to give away too many free kicks and still triggering the press on him. Also, he's left-footed and apparently his passing is a bit off, so let's show him to the inside. Arif Ibrahim. The worst thing about this guy is that he can pass a ball. The passing and vision are rather okay, off the ball movement is really bad. So first of all we mark him tightly. Then it certainly shows he might be receptive to hard tackles. Setyavan. Off the ball movement's bad, dribbling and bravery are very low. Vision and passing are okay-ish. Tight marking might not work. Don't want to restrict that, but we need to close him down at least and tackle him hard. Get the ball back from him. Did any of these have a really weak foot? No. Mr. Andre Octaviancia. That's dangerous. The passing in particular. So we need to show him to the left, which means we show him to the inside, which means we show him to where he's better. I do not like that. That said, at least his long shots and finishing are really bad. His first touch is damn good though. So we'll close him down. What's with these? He's crap. At least from a tactical point of view. As a defender, he's fine. A bit slow maybe? Don't have much of an idea here. Marcel Janua Putra is really not a good jumper for a central defender. Heading's decent though. None of the rest of his attributes are great. We can close him down. We definitely do not need to mark him tightly, that's for sure. And there is also Totok Fami. Closing him down is okay. Same here. Though his passing is not that threatening. Or it shouldn't be. And then there's the right back. His passing is somewhat threatening. We can show him to the weaker foot. That would be the left in his case, so showing him to the inside. And well, hopefully that's highly congested anyway. So this part of the pitch will probably not be the one that they will be successful in. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Alright, let's go with this. Halim is troubled. I want to see a box standard PSIS Senarang performance, so a hat-trick by Isha in this case. if for some reason we make it through the group stages, the new players might help. Gotta be careful then with their integration. Can I explain a little bit? Yes, I can. I think this is about rotation. Hopefully. So let's go forward with this. They won the last 2 matches though. So this is really dangerous. And we'll encourage the team. And after this match I will probably drop that. I'm really tired. Iskander, Ari for Jorge Cesar. I think they started with something akin to a foul there. Well, 3.5 minutes into the match, not much happened. Halim, that's not bad. Arianto with a long ball. Towards Jorge Cesar. Nobody else is around. That's dangerous. Hidayatulo. And we concede. So this is how this goes down. Down the wing. And that's one of the areas where, well, the improvements are direly needed. So it's his wing though. He's too slow. He was entirely out of place. Arianto with a long ball towards Abidin. They had one chance and they nailed it. Jorge Cesar wins the header, that shouldn't be offside. It isn't. Ari with a cross. Goalkeeper kicks the ball straight towards Arianto. Tabuni. Jorge Cesar. Tabuni again. Infantry. This is a very narrow pitch, isn't it? Abdullah. Setyavan. Chidan. And Chanua Putra again with another long ball. Infantry well defended this time. Tabuni, that's also fine. Ari. Arianto for infantry, and he will probably play a long ball, won't he? Of course he does. Straight towards Arido. Jorge Cesar, and that's not a bad header. Ramadan had to do something for his money today. Come on guys, you can do better. Infantry, Jorge Cesar, Tabuni, that's a decent ball. Ari. Didn't make much of it, did he? Arianto, infantry. And Ari picks up the ball. That's intercepted by Tabuni immediately. Ari again. Well, Ari. That would have been great, but it wasn't to be. There's a free kick there. And it's blocked. Well done. Azrul. Ari heads the ball out of this danger zone. Not for long though. Abdullah, Moody. Iskander is up front. We didn't really create much, did we? Tabuni and Sukipto. He did take a shot. Gotta compliment him on that. Tabuni takes a free kick. Jorge Cesar. Over again. That's not good. Abidine with a ball from deep. Please tell me this is offside. Yes, it is. I'm actually starting to think we should do wider. Arianto hits Abidine. Moody next the ball off him. That's alright. And Iskander's shot is blocked. We'll have another corner. And, well, for corners we need some encouragement. We had more chances now than they had. Problem is they had a good one, we didn't. Moody's corner taking is not that impressive either. Jorge Cesar's heading though could be impressive. Like in this case where he hits the post. Oh shit. We are really unlucky these days, aren't we? Ramadan. There's Jorge Cesar. Iskander is not in Biri, but this ball will suffice for Ari. Cuts inside, nice cross for Jorge Cesar, and again, his header doesn't find his way to the back of the net. He does win the headers, at least some of them. So from the perspective of expected goals, we deserve to at least get a draw here. Problem is what we deserve and what we get is very different. Hidayatulo, don't do that to me. Hits the crossbar. Arianto. I'll start to berate him now. They are one goal behind and it doesn't show. Well, that or it does. Because there's not enough effort on the pitch. Owen, will he take a long kick towards Jorge Cesar? Looks like it. And Jorge Cesar just doesn't jump. Well, there we go. And then we lost it. Tabuni will take this free kick. That's a cross for Halim, and that's not good. All of these headers. Free kick that got deflected. And we face a corner. At least the free kick didn't go in directly. Let's rule Jorge Cesar, Arianto. Come on, Tabuni, do something. Nope. So Kipto intercepts. Tabuni again, straight through the middle towards Halim. It's just a bad header. I think I'll try to float the crosses a little bit more. But otherwise, We had the better chances. So let's be aggressive. If they don't play a better second half, we'll need to, you know, sub some of them off. It's probably Isha time anyway. But let's keep Jorge Cesar until minute 60. I don't want to risk an injury. Well, not too much anyway. On neither of them actually. Well, Abdullah, that wasn't really needed, was it? Jorge Cesar seems to be done. Owen would need to claim that ball, doesn't though. Ibrahim, that's a ball for Owen. How about a long kick? No? Apparently not. Well, going through the middle with them didn't work, did it? So we'll focus on nothing for now. Other than defending this free kick, which doesn't happen. It's helped by Owen though. Not a bad performance so far by the goalkeeper. Tabuni for Arianto. That goes back to infantry. And well, knowing infantry, that was one of the safest passes he can play probably. Alim, that's definitely not a problem for Moody. That's a direct cross. Goalkeeper seems unsecure here. Setyavan. Sofian. Doesn't seem to be intercepted. Okay. Owen finds Arianto. Tabuni. Tabuni's pass is nice. Iskander, come on. That's okay-ish. Moody. A cross, and it's Jorge Cesar. Was this a floated cross? Not sure. Whatever. He stood a chance there. Will there be another one? Apparently. This situation is really nice. Nice! Come on, Sukipto. How can you not score from that position? I know your finishing isn't good, but that was well placed. The goalkeeper really has a wonderful match there. Ibrahim intercepted. Well done by Owen. Arianto again. Arianto's cross from deep towards Jorge Cesar, who wins the header. Ari. We should have floated the crosses all season, shouldn't we? Ari again towards Moody. Moody is Kandar. Jorge Cesar again and Moody again. So many chances. So many chances. It just can't seem to hit the goal. Alright. Let's bring Isha on and also Impiri. Hell. We need everything that we can get offensively, so I guess Ferdiancia will go onto the pitch too. I think they can make it. Subbing on 3 attacking players now. Ferdiancia wins a header. Didn't expect that. We have so much better chances. Ferdiancia with a free kick. No offside. Halim wins another header. Ramadan has a perfect day. 7.1 rating only. Currently our finishes have been bad. Tabuni, Ferdiancia. Cross from deep maybe? Nope. There's the cross from deep towards Imbiri. Imbiri. 1 point at least, for now. Good stuff by Ferdiancia. So instant impact by 2 of them. Now we need another one by Isha maybe. Ferdianski's cross was fine and Mbiri's just too fast. He was nearly outmuscled by whoever number 15 is there. Probably a central defender, right? Janua Putra. Might be the guy. Infantry with a lob forward. Don't know what happened to the ball. So Kipto. Halim. Well, Isha, if you don't go for the headers, we have a hard time winning them. Mbiri runs down the sideline. Mbiri's cross and Isha's header. Wow! What a save by Ramadan. Come on. Do more. I don't want to praise him. Encouragement seems to work on some of them at least. Moody. And Isha doesn't jump. In this situation. Same as last time, we are way better with chances created at this point. This is unfair. Well, it is fair if we don't take our chances. Sukipto with the dribble. Tabuni. Oh, the pass was really well intended. Moody skips past Ibrahim. That's definitely offside, sadly. Halim is totally devastated. Hopefully he will make it through the match uninjured. Kinda reminds me of last season's cup competition. Well, this one. Not the other one. There was a similar problem going on. Chidon. Oh no. Owen saves. It's offside. Alright. This is really dangerous. But we gotta go for goal if we want to make it anywhere here in this competition. That's a really nice killer ball by Tabuni. Well, it's not a killer ball, is it? Moody's cross for the Yansya with the header. And Hendra Saputra comes on, apparently. Let's have a look. Who is this? Passing and vision are somewhat tolerable. I don't know. Long shots and finishing are really bad. He likes to lob the keeper. Off the ball movement seems decent. I'd rather press him. And given the rest of his stats, we'll probably leave it at that. Halim is so friggin' tired. Still wins the header though. And Tabuni wins the tackle. Because the header was well misplaced. For the Ansya. By the way, not going down in a specific wing seems to have done us real good. Arianto, Tabuni. Arianto, will you find Mbiri? Oh, no foul. Well, I would have taken a foul here. A penalty and a goal is still a goal. Moody. Come on, take a nice corner. Give it to Isha. That's not what I intended. We have 61% possession. Good pass completion. We just can't seem to get the ball into the back of the net. Halim wins yet another header. Moody, he should be tired by now. Imbiri. Oh. That lack of ball control. Halim, that's intercepted by Sukipto, that's great. Ball control is fine too. Moody. And Moody loses the ball. That's easy so far. Long ball. And nothing. Ramadan. Well done. Imbiri for Tabuni. Tabuni finds Ferdiancia again. If there is an option to go for a cross, it's probably Ferdiancia. Arianto. Infantry. And that will be a long ball. A good one in this situation. Moody. Cuts inside. Imbiri. We got it. Second goal. We came back from being one behind. So 15 minutes to go now. We gotta get this over with. So let's waste some time. They are definitely the better team now. It took a lot out of us though, to get the benefit of all of that good work. So I'm really happy with this. And I will definitely praise him now. Bisha didn't do much. On the other hand, who am I to judge? He's still adapting to being a complete forward. Maybe we should have played him as a target man. Abidine, Ponto, Abidine again. That's not a good header. And that's a corner. They will push everyone forward. Hopefully Owen can claim this one. Please do something useful, Owen. Doesn't come out. Isha with the defending. And apparently that was it for now. Orianto, Tabuni, Halim. That's somehow a waste of time. Isha, well controlled. Will there be a really creative pass? Sukipto. That's not really creative, but it's something. That's red. Well, sir, thank you very much for facilitating this win. Now we only need to make it through. Arianto. That also weakens them for next match, I think. Oh no, Arianto's injured. Please tell me it's not serious. I need to get him through. Need him to get through another match, I think. He's just really exhausted, is he? Well, he has a knock. 5 minutes. Don't do that to me. Well defended. Imbiri. Abdullah. Infantry wins the header. He's on the yellow. Saputra. And a long shot that looked for a second like it was destined for net, but then it just went over harmlessly. We got really lucky. Hidayatullah is on a yellow too now. Ferdiancia finds Halim as the best header. The goalkeeper can't hold up the off the ball. That was a really good header. It just wasn't placed well enough. So the result now reflects expected goals. 5 minutes of additional time. No, he claims that one. Looking at our defenders, I think we are entirely exhausted. Arianto probably can't walk anymore. Not much anyway. It's offside. Yeah, they are all utterly exhausted right now. The last match will be really hard on all of those. Setyavan, please don't do anything stupid. Owen's there. Alright. 2.5 minutes to go. We need this win. We absolutely need it. Owen, what a ball towards Mbiri. And that's blocked. Jansa is around though. And apparently that's it. Being around and all. Isha. That was a nice flick on. Mbiri wins the ball. Once more. Will he just run past the defender? No, he doesn't. Jansa. Mbiri could do much better if he did a little bit more of dribbling. Isha's header. Jansa. Float one in. That's not floated. It's the last seconds of the game though. Ramadan will probably not make it until time's over. Abdullah towards Isha again. That's it. What a match. That was really a nervous one. And, well, the second half was much better. So that was entirely deserved. I will be alright with this for now. So, now let's have a look at the league. You must be delighted. Yes, I am. Mbiri scored twice. Can I put into words the impact by you Mbiri's winner will have on a team? Hopefully it changes the entire season. So that means we're sitting at 7 points in the last match against RANS Nusantara. Will be deciding. There's no guarantee yet that we will go through. It depends a little bit on the schedule. I'm not sure if Persilla played PSMS already. If they did, we stand a good chance of going through. Ouch. He pulled a hamstring. Fuck. That's the only left defender we got. Let's look at the schedule first. So, did you play each other already? They play PSMS. Priscilla play PSMS, and the competition says... Perfect. So one of the two might achieve 3 points, not both. If it's a draw, we're more or less okay, I think. I'm not sure if I will give injections. I might. To be honest, I gotta reflect on this. I'm not sure yet. We will go through the press conference. This is all good. He did well. That's it. So, I think we need to go with injections. At this point. Just because I need him for the next match. But he's so devastated. We just loaned out the only youngster that was available here. The squad will barely recover. Maybe get rid of the delivery session, not sure. On the other hand, these are the next opponent is rock bottom, so what do I know? I think I'll wrap up the stream for today. So we will decide on the injections next time. And I would like to thank everybody that is still around for watching. And well, everybody that was around for keeping me company. We got rated twice today, so that was great. Streams are usually on Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. GMT plus 2, that's German time. Thank you very much, and I will see you all hopefully on Friday latest. Bye.